We're live. And I'm still typing on Twitter.
Tweet faster.
Tweet faster.
Hello, Finley.
I was going to say, I'll
You
let
are
you do
on
the
it.
intro. Sorry, I'm just writing something on Twitter. I'll be with you in a moment. Tweet done. Yes, hello everyone. Welcome to the live stream. And it's September's live stream as well.
You're enthusiastic until you just had dinner, blimey.
Yeah.
God.
I know. I'm getting very happy.
Evidently.
Yeah, evidently. Yes, how have you been, Finley? How have you been keeping?
It's been a month.
Yeah, it has been a month. Actually,
Just
no,
had
it's
to
been 2
reply.
months since we last caught up with Finley, hasn't it? So I don't think he actually joined the last one because they were busy.
Doing it. Thank you for joining us. I lose track, sorry. It's nothing personal.
If I remember rightly, they were busy looking after their parents' house.
How do you remember that sort of stuff?
Because I am quite active on Twitter.
Oh, okay.
But yes, hello and welcome to the live stream. If you've never been a part of one of these before, basically it's a chance for you to have a conversation with us and us to be a bit more direct with no fancy editing or anything else like that, which you might usually expect on other videos. But this is a good chance for us to speak directly to you, not actually meeting face to face.
Yeah, we
Although
just
we did
chat
have a
rubbish for
chance.
2 hours normally.
We did have a chance for that earlier this month, didn't we? But we
We
shall
did.
get onto
We
that in a little bit.
Well, you had a chance to talk to people.
You did as well, in behind the stalls. But
Sort of.
hello, what would you like to buy?
Yeah, please buy things.
But yes, how should we start this this live stream? This
Well, let's
month?
give it a couple of minutes. We'll let some more people
Okay.
roll in. We've got number 2. That's a bit rude. The second person, not number 2. That might be Matt, and in which case that'll hopefully
Or it could be,
cheer him up.
or it could be Ian of Team Baylock Classics. Go and check out his
Could
channel,
be.
by the way.
I'm sure he won't be offended at being called number 2 either, but never mind. It's nothing personal.
That's the viewers for those joining.
Yeah.
Just so you know, we're not calling people number 2.
Number 2.
This is off to a good start this evening. 2.5 minutes in. Your thoughts on the Toyota Aygo? Ooh, Toyota Aygo. I'll start with you. What do you think?
Is there a new one?
There's not a brand new one, as far as I
okay.
know, but there's which particular one? The first gen or second gen?
They're alright. They're quite small.
Because they are shared basically.
I'm
Sorry,
only
am I
here.
speaking
Don't shout.
loudly? That's
Just
amazing.
getting
Any
excited.
Aygo. I like chatting cars.
I know,
you
but
know, I like
I'm
chatting cars.
only here.
I've done it all last week.
All your life.
Any Aygo. Yeah, the Aygo is a good little car. It's affordable. It's quite a good looking one. I think personally of the second gen of the Aygo, it's the better looking of it and its, I guess, sister cars with the Citroen C1, Peugeot 1008 of the second gen, and obviously previously 1007. Oh, it's all going over your head, isn't it?
No, I do know what they are, actually.
You do? Oh, she's learning.
Rude.
But yeah, Aygo, it's a good little car, very affordable, very cheap to run as well, quite cheap to tax. I think it's £30 a year, £20 a year, something like that off the top of my head.
Sounds like her.
Yeah. So it's in the same sort of bracket as your 500, but obviously they've got a smaller engine in those. It's 1000 cc.
Sorry, off of Aygo topics. There's something that we haven't covered yet on the channel anywhere.
Oh, okay.
After the party, disaster struck. We haven't mentioned that.
Yeah,
to
we had
anybody.
a disaster on the way to the party, but we will cover
Not on the
these
way to
things.
the party.
Yeah, we did.
Oh, we had. Yeah, no, I meant about the other disaster.
I know.
The day after the party.
We'll get onto the party in a minute.
Yeah.
I'll just round off the
Oh, sorry, Aygo.
Aygo chat.
Aygo.
No problem. But Aygo, good little car, very cheap to run, 4 seats as well, so extremely practical. Comes in 3 and 5 door. Really good little cars, nothing wrong with them. 1 litre, very economical. 3-cylinder noises as well, so that's an extra win as well.
I don't dislike them. I just don't really know them very well.
I might be having a
Short and sweet.
a Citroen C1 to review at some point, but that's underneath. It's the same car basically. It's just got a different body on top and a different badge, but ultimately same car. Might be doing a review on one in hopefully not too distant future, so fingers crossed. And as Ian's just said in the comments, great racing series for the Aygo and its sister vehicles. So I know Carlos was looking at entering Citroen C1 racing at one point. So
Get Baz on it.
maybe we get Baz to do it. Bad Obsession Motorsport built a C1 for that series. Well, there you go. They're the people
Good
behind.
evening, Ian, as well.
They're behind the people from Project Binky, which is on YouTube, which is a mini build. Quite a mad little mini as well. Toyota Yaris. Again, you can't really knock Toyota's reliability. They're very good for it. They have had a few recalls over the years. It's probably one of the more, I guess, prominent brands that have had recalls in recent times, I suppose, especially more publicly. But overall, Toyota reliability, it's overall pretty good. They always seem to rate quite highly in customer surveys. What else can I say about the Yaris? Again, perfectly usable little car. 5-seater, 5-door, 3-door configurations. They're massively customizable, I suppose.
Is there a cross version of that? Is that, what was it, Jersey?
Yes, that was
which is huge.
That's the Igo Cross, which ironically is
Cross.
based on the Yaris platform. So that's not confusing at all.
Hello to all 5 of you, by the way. We
Yes,
don't know who you are other than the 2 that have already said hello. Please make yourself known. Say hi if you can.
Great handling little car. The Yaris, says Ian, well used in Targa rallies and auto testing here in Northern Ireland. Well, there we go. Proof is in the pudding, as they say.
Oh, I was about to say, what do people think of 8 o'clock? Because we seem to have a lot more people quite quickly, and then somebody went away.
We do. Yes, let us know in the comments. What do you think of the 8 o'clock start time? We thought we'd try something different from our usual 7, half 7-ish.
Yep.
Usual time. Thought we'd try a bit later. We noticed a few other YouTubers do live streams around the same time, and we know it's quite hard for people to choose which live streams to tune into and follow, I suppose.
Even if we are your favourite.
Not at all being cocky.
Would you ever buy an Eevee? Oh, God, Finley, you're right in there with the questions tonight.
Yeah, definitely. But
I think so. I can answer this one because I kind of know a bit about them. If they did better infrastructure for charging it, it didn't take 8 hours to charge it, and if the cost of electricity wasn't through the roof, basically.
Yeah.
And also, generally, if the car was cheaper to buy in the first place, things like for where we live, or where I live, we were talking only about it the other day of the Citroen Ami.
Really good little cars.
I really like them. I think they're really cute. I don't think Mum likes them, but it would be perfect for somebody like her who lives a couple of miles away from work, goes from
in a town.
Yes, just outside of a town into a town and back again, and doesn't really go anywhere else. It would be perfect because it would just, the charge would last. It would be, easy to park, that kind of thing. But for driving the distances that we drive, just to
most weekends,
just to go to places and sort of see things and see each other, something like that just wouldn't work. I'd have to stop halfway to charge it up probably because I would have exhausted the battery, and it's like, it just doesn't really work. So maybe one day, but not right now.
I think at least with my view of it is with electric cars, the cars themselves are actually really good these days. You've got, I think, with the minimum of, say, cars like the E208, because of course we had one turn up to the party, so I'll mention that as a good staple mark. Good car. Also, sister car with the Corsa E, which I think starts about 28,000-ish pounds. But you can get about 15 miles of range supposedly out of them, which is really, really quite good these days. But as you say, with it, the cost of electricity obviously going up. I know it's still going to be cheaper than petrol for now.
Yeah, for now.
But as more people buy them, they'll obviously keep going up and up in price at the minute. And as you say, the infrastructure is not fully there. It's getting there.
Yeah, it is, but not at the minute.
It's getting there, but it'll take a few years until it's properly up there for electric cars to be fully usable for the masses. But also, electric cars do need to be a bit cheaper. I mean, if you look at, say, cars of Volkswagen Golf size, just for, a benchmark.
Well, it's kind of like a mid-size, average
small, family car.
Yeah, sort of
family hatch.
Yeah.
Let's go with that. The cheapest one on sale now in the UK, I think, is the MG4, or at least coming very, very soon. That's about £26,000.
Yeah, and that's just not affordable for anybody, really.
I mean, there's obviously going to be people who will be able to afford it.
Yeah, but like you say, on the masses, it's not going to be affordable.
But with rising costs everywhere else, and I don't want to go on about it because it's not really a topic we cover here on the car channel, but
But it does play into it. It does. People have to think about the whole thing before they go and buy a new car.
Yeah,
And even if it's on a payment plan or a lease or something like that, you need to know that you can afford that lease as well as your ever increasing electricity bill that you will have because you bought an electric
gas
car.
and anything else if you run it at home. But I guess to sum up with the electric car, the cars themselves are okay. Infrastructure does need to change. The cars do need to get cheaper, but they are obviously going to do that the more and more are produced. I mean, again, Citroen Ami is quite a good example of that. It's about £6,000, £7,000.
Yeah.
Which I know is still not cheap, but it's coming down in the right direction.
Yeah, and also for the people that it's aimed towards, it's that thing of a probably single professional going in and out of a town. They don't need a family car. They don't need a big boot. They don't need any of that. They need 2 seats that can maybe take them and a friend into work and back home again. Or if you are a couple, it's fine. But it's like, it's that kind of situation. You can't have 3 children and a dog with that. It literally, you wouldn't fit it.
Although saying that, supposedly Dacia are looking to bring the Spring, which is a car based on the Renault Kwid, which is a car built in India. They're looking at bringing that to the UK, which is fully electric, which I think is about 5 seats, smallish, but it's basically Fiat Panda size. So I think I think it will probably come to the UK at some point, maybe in the next couple of years. I don't think Dacia have decided on that yet, but when it does come, if it does come, I think that could potentially be a big game changer because it's not a car supposed to be over £20,000 from what I've heard through the grapevine.
Yeah.
Of course, final figures will only tell when and if it comes out. I think the Renault 5, the new one, the Eevee, which I think looks absolutely stunning. I love it. I would kind of want to have one if I could afford it. But that I think is supposed to be fairly, I guess, cheap for an EV, shall we say. Not cheap in the grand scheme of things, but cheap in the comparative market. Right, EV talk. So that's a lot.
Sure, yes, we would. Infrastructure needs to be better and the cars need to be cheaper. Let's go back to saying hello to people that have joined us. Right, Ian likes it because little one goes to bed, and I'm assuming he goes after.
Yes.
Good evening, Matt. Nice to see you. Speak to you.
And Barry as well. Hello.
And Barry.
West Country Minis taking over the chat.
Yeah, we've got big love with West Country Minis at the moment.
Yeah, I can't think why.
Unleaded prices in your area at the moment. I don't know.
It's about 163, roughly, 0.9 on average at the minute.
We've been on the Isle of Wight for a week, so it might be different there to here as well. So
on the Isle of Wight, it's about 165.9 for petrol.
And it's not that far away from where we live, so
it's
about won't be too different.
Let's say between 161.9 and 166.9. Just say that roughly for an average. It's hard to say because we live in 2 quite different areas of the country, I suppose.
Yeah, and also where petrol is a different sort of demand.
Yes.
But I haven't filled up my car for a little while.
No, I did. I filled up the Mini.
Yes.
That's because we've been busy.
We have.
Quite busy. Matt's been on E5. Yes, I will say, just for clarification, that was E10, not E5. E5 being more expensive these days.
Yeah.
Finley, at least 2 Bilingos, and they credit check you to prove that you can afford it.
Sensible. It is sensible.
Yeah, it's
it's potentially annoying for some people, but then they're the people that shouldn't be leasing cars, I suppose, because if you can't afford it, you shouldn't be having these things. If you know what I mean, it's the case of you're stopping somebody who can afford it.
I mean, it's a tough thing to say because, of course, there's a big shift at the minute for people wanting to go electric or hybrid, and that's great. It's obviously the end product is incredibly clean. I'm not quite sure on the actual development of the cars. I mean, I believe it's changing all the time, and other electric vehicle focused channels will probably direct you towards how clean it is these days compared to how it was 10 years ago to produce these cars.
Yeah, but the thing is with it is they're still having to be made. That's the thing. There's cars out there, which is obviously why the used car market is, and the second-hand car market and whatever is so expensive at the moment, is because
other factors contribute to that as well.
But also because the cars already exist. So people are looking at it on one hand, well, the EVs are too expensive to buy completely out of reach. And also there's a lot of people and a lot of argument for, well, they're making new cars when there's cars that already exist and work that are absolutely fine. And I kind of see that, I wouldn't run for, if I didn't have my car now, I wouldn't run for a brand new car just because I could afford to do it. I'd rather get an older car and not have to have the production line going, because surely that's costs more money than
keeping a car for 10 years or so. Yeah. Let's say electric vehicles is a very, I guess, divided topic.
Well,
not everybody sees it the same way.
No, and I think completely depends on who you are, what you are, where, like, what you're doing, where you live,
your livelihood.
Yeah, everything. What you earn, what your outgoings are. It's completely dependent, and just do whatever you want with whatever you want to do. It's fine.
At the minute, for me, an electric vehicle would probably do my day-to-day stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I could live with one quite happily, but for the odd time when I go a bit further away...
But we'd need a not Eevee, a petrol, diesel, whatever, a fuel-powered car to do the shows and do all of that sort of stuff, because getting an Eevee to that with the, finishing work, making sure it's charged during the day to then drive, I
will say, for obviously a bit of balance, we do most of the shows with the mini long distance, so I guess that does kind of cancel that out. But at the same time, it's a tough one. You can't really give a definitive answer.
It'd be interesting. I've just seen Ian's comment of he'd be interested to see how an Eevee would work for his lifestyle as a family car. And I mean, that's what the channels and that's what YouTube and everything are out there to do. And if we were in the position where we could do that, then I know you would love it. And I mean, I would quite enjoy it as well, to see what it would actually, how it would do, because even we have very different lives in terms of what we do. You go to work, but it's kind of like a sort of a definitive place every day.
Yeah.
It doesn't vary all that often. Whereas the job that I'm starting or whatever, I could be going around the whole of the county. So from one day to the next, I might not be, and it's schools. I don't know many schools with electric charging points at the moment, and I don't know how many of them would be particularly pleased for me rocking up and going, "Hi, can I just plug my car in for the day so I can get home again?" I don't think that would work.
No, and I'm not sure either. Something like a Citroen Ami, which is lower end of the Eevee scale.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that would be that great, doing 31 miles an hour all the way up to wherever you're working.
No. A journey that would take me half an hour anyway would take me even longer, because I wouldn't be able to get on the motorway and do those kind of speeds.
Fact, I've just seen the figure in the comments. It's actually £8,095 cash to buy now in Citroen Ami. So even so, that's still the lower end of the scale. The Renault Twizy was about £6,000, £7,000 a few years ago. I like the Twizy. It's a good little car.
I like them. I think they're quite nice, but it's sort of, that's still quite a lot of money to have just for a car that you can't use.
No.
Long distance, you couldn't use it on holidays, you couldn't use it anything like you could be stopping every 5 minutes and have to go the B roads all the time.
No, but I will say, despite the fact we are called Fuel Power, we do like electric vehicles. Don't let any of this chat make you think we don't. It's still
somewhere along the lines.
Fuel, I guess, energy. Maybe we'll have to change the channel name to Energy Power in the future.
Electric Power.
But we do like them, and in fact we might have some more electric content coming up fairly soon of, I guess, the two-wheeled variety as well as four-wheeled.
Yeah,
so
both.
I mean, electric motorbikes, they're certainly really coming up in the world at the minute. Light, easy to ride. What's the problem with those? I don't see any problem.
No, just can't ride them.
No, we just can't ride them because we haven't got any motorcycle licenses, but we might have someone who does. I'm sure you might have seen them on the channel before.
Yes.
But shall we go back up through, because...
Hello. Sorry. Saying hello.
Yeah, go for it.
Hello.
There you go.
That's it. That was all I wanted.
Hello, Simone. Welcome. Matt doesn't know the...
Right. You've done that bit.
Have we?
Doesn't know the unleaded price because he hasn't got any cars that run on it. And then Barry's caught him out there. And that's when you said about E5.
There we go. Then.
Yeah.
We're all caught up. Sorry, I thought we were a bit further.
Type quicker, guys. Type quicker.
Very interested to see how an Eevee would work for my lifestyle as a family car, says Ian.
Yeah, I've done that bit.
Oh, you have. God, losing track already.
We're on this Ian comment now. That's fine.
Yes. And hello, Thomas. Welcome to the chat. How's the C5 doing? Or the two C5s? You've now got two of them.
Greedy.
148.7 for E10 currently, your local Costco. See, that's really cheap. I'm jealous. Why
Yeah,
can't
but
we have
Costco
prices
is
like
cheap.
that?
Costco is cheap. That's probably what Costco is in Southampton as well, but we don't have a Costco membership. And it's also nowhere near where I live. It's on like the wrong side of the river.
I don't have
So
any
it's a pain in the
Costco's
bum.
around me. It's all Shells, BPs, Tesco's, you name it.
Polestar. That's the ones that look like Teslas, isn't it? The logo.
Yeah, kind of. They're Volvo's posher electric brand,
Yeah.
essentially, these days. Geely.
That's a good idea. 48 or 72 hour test drive would give it a good run for its money with your family, kind of going to work and stuff.
Definitely. Yeah, that's a good way to get the family involved with your channel, Ian.
Yeah, a few days.
Yeah.
It's always nice to see a couple like families on these things.
Yeah, I agree with that. We've certainly had our family involved quite a bit recently, haven't we, on the channel with various things.
Gutted to not join it. It would have been lovely to have you, but unfortunately, just didn't work out.
No, we understand. Life gets.
You're quite far away as well.
Yeah,
that would have been a pretty lengthy journey. We need to get your sticker out to you. You need to contact us with your address and everything, so we can get that sent to you. That's Hooked on Classics, by the way, just in case anybody's getting confused and going, what?
Yeah, we do have stickers and various key rings and magnets still left from our party, which I think you might have seen on other channels as well with their coverage of the party.
Yep.
We had quite a few there, didn't we?
Yeah, we'll head to that in a minute. Let's just get to where we are, and then we'll go to what we've been up to in September. How about that? Getting to uni would be a good idea. Again, car parks are a bit rubbish at unis and that sort of stuff. Parking on the side of the road would be easy.
Yeah.
Could you get a feet? This is Mrs. Campbell. Sorry, Mrs. C. I don't know if we're sharing. Sorry.
That's fine.
To go on camera, you could get a feet, knees, like Tom and Jerry lady, just like the bottom of your, just your legs.
That's a creative way around it, I suppose.
That's just what it always makes me think of when people don't want to be on camera. It's always your feet and your knees, isn't it? And your hands.
Or just this bit and lower.
Paper bag over your head. You'll be fine. The camera's not scary. It's when people in real life are scary.
That's one way through, isn't it?
Ian got his merch. That's good. We've seen some lovely pictures. They're very artistic.
Yes, we have shared those on social media since we've been back because we went to the Isle of Wight, didn't we? But we did not have very good signal at all.
No.
We haven't even been able to watch any of the coverage really of our party.
No, we were doing that whilst we were eating just before we did this.
Yeah, we tried
until it got to my starring role as an interviewee in the Hubnut video, and I turned it off because it was awful.
And also because we had to start this.
Yeah. You is top quality. Ian's getting down with the kids.
No, I think he's continuing. I guess, by the way, the merch I got from you is top quality.
I thought it was, I'm just trying
it's
to.
All right.
It's cool.
Already on the keys for the mini and the sticker showcase on it, and I believe you got one on the C5 as well, haven't you? With the boot lid, and that's it.
Oh, I was just trying to compliment you, Ian. Down with the kids, and Jake gave it away.
Sorry.
Right, shall we?
Too factual.
Go back on to what we've done in September, and then we will come back to that lovely 3D printed question.
Yes. What did we do on the first weekend in September?
Panic.
Good quiz.
What did we do?
We prepared.
Did we just prepare? I feel like we did something.
We prepared and...
Let's scroll back the millions of photos.
I don't remember
the best
doing
way
anything.
to do it. No, that's 21st of August. 25th of August.
We're going back through.
26th of August. Oh, we're getting there.
Yes, it is ironic that the spark plug is on the Eevee.
When did we do our last live stream? Oh, there. So, since then, on the 28th of August, because that was bank holiday weekend.
That's true. At
we
that point,
poodled
we
off
were
to Salisbury Racecourse. A nice local one for us.
That's a good soundbite to have.
What? Where we attended a... It's not a class, it's just any
it's open to all vehicles of any age, so
yeah.
you can take anything up, basically.
We went last year, and it was certainly more popular than last year than it was this year, which is a shame, but we think that was a crossover with the Dorset Steam Fair.
Yeah, the Great Dorset Steam Fair was only about 20 minutes away from Salisbury, maybe a tiny bit longer depending on obviously traffic and everything else.
Yeah.
But it's really not that far away, and it happened to be on the same weekend. But not only that, it was the same weekend that Formula One hit your screens again after the summer break.
Yeah.
It was
So
all
just
quite
there was things,
interesting,
and it was bank holiday weekend, and people are allowed to go on holiday and do things and stuff after a couple of years not being able to do that. So I think generally people were drawn away from that to go to other places, which is a shame because it's actually quite a good little event.
I've got a walk around of that coming up, which hasn't quite hit the screen yet, so I just didn't have time to edit it before everything went mad.
Sorry. We'll get there. We'll catch up. Yeah, then we had it was a quick stop at that one.
So I'm trying to
and
refresh
then
my memory
we
as well.
Had Bank Holiday Monday to panic, make and do and build and stick and everything. And then we were back at work for a little bit. And then it was a very special weekend in the party house. Then give it away in the Fuel Power House and HQ, because it was party weekend. So we had the help of some lovely friends and family to get the last bits and pieces sorted for the party, and we were putting stickers in the boxes and putting keyrings in boxes and generally getting a little bit stressed about things and cleaning cars and caravans and tidying things out. We had a great day doing that, and then we woke up on Sunday morning on the 11th and we were ready to go. Well, we were. One member of the party was not, however. Would you like to impart the information, Mr. Bill?
Yeah. So for those who have been following on the social medias, Millie did not want to start on that day. The one day that you wanted everything to go right, Millie did not start. And that was because the electronic dizzy had just gone. It was just basically what happened was...
she threw her toys at the pram because she didn't want me to drive it by myself.
Yeah, but no. But yeah. Basically, the previous owner of Millie had done an electronic ignition upgrade, which is literally just that. It's a slight modification to the original unit, as far as I understand. And it just went on that day. They're fairly reliable when they work, but as soon as they don't work, that's it. You're absolutely stuffed. As we were on that day. So Millie did not want to start. However, Matt, who's in the chat somewhere, luckily
unless his curry's arrived.
Unless his curry has arrived. He was taking the Sana to the party as well, which again you may have seen in other videos as well as our own. So quite kindly he said, all right, I'll drop the Sana off and then I'll come and get Millie on the trailer. So Millie still made it, but not quite the way we planned.
No, she was a bit of a trailer princess that day, wasn't she?
Yes, definitely. And she ends up getting quite a lot of attention from various people as the day went on the Sunday. So she got lots and lots of looks from people going, oh, what's this? Oh, is this part of the show?
Yeah, we had loads of comments. This is part of the show. Is this demo part of the show? It was like,
not intentionally, no.
But, so Matt, you are a star, and you didn't even know it.
We got Matt
we've just laughed at this here. I don't know if anybody else can see this, but it says Rescue Squad present and correct, and I can just imagine Matt.
A little salute saying farewell.
Yeah. Quick farewell, really quick.
No, but yeah, we had Matt Pink obviously helping to work on it. He's got a huge history, a long line of minis in his past, to say. not quite what I was implying.
He's very knowledgeable on his minis and his fixing of minis.
And we also had Matt of Mini Matt TV, another YouTube channel which is focused on minis. He was trying to help out as well. And Ian of, I think you probably know the channel, Hubnut. You might have heard of it. He was also offering words of advice and probably encouragement.
I mean, my dad Ian probably
and your dad was helping
put a bit of knowledge in there as well. You know, he's got some knowledge. I don't know whether he did.
Yeah, but either way, the problem was the dizzy had gone. So on Tuesday morning, the week after, because that weekend we were off to the Isle of Wight, or Friday.
So it was panic stations to get it fixed.
Went off to Somerford Mini Spares in Carl in Wiltshire, got some new bits for Millie, and by Tuesday evening she was running. So big thank you to all those who helped out with that. I haven't really had much of a chance to say it at the minute. Well, not even at the minute, over the last few weeks because of rubbish internet. But
and especially to both the Matts.
Yes,
all
both
the
Matts.
Thank
all the
you
Matts
for
and
the help.
other people who tried to help out. I do appreciate it. It does show the best side of the mini community.
The Matts and the Ians.
That's pretty much all
The
there is.
Mattians.
That's pretty much all there is in the car scene, isn't it?
Matts and Ians. Sorry to everybody else.
Yeah. It's not helping
We're
our
better.
point, is it? That we got Matt and Ian in the chat this weekend.
But yes, other than the disaster of the morning, we had...
The day went well.
The day went very well. We had approximately 66 vehicles turn up, which for a first meet, first show, whatever you want to call it, party, was pretty good. And we were very busy, and Jake talked to about 100 people. I spoke to quite a few people, but I was stuck in the gazebo for most of the day because you was just so busy talking to everybody, and filming and everything like that.
I was trying to be a good host.
You were being a very good host. I was doing a lot of pointing and selling things because we had our merchandise for sale. Now, it is limited. You're right there.
Yeah, sorry, the pillow should just fall onto me.
I forgot where I was now. Merchandise. So we have big plans for merchandise to come at some point. But for now, we are sticking to simple keyrings and stickers and magnets. And they went down really well, actually. We were a bit worried that we put all this time and effort into designing and printing and everything like that, and people weren't going to buy them or be interested.
The 3D printer was going for a solid week and a half printing all of that stuff.
Literally, solid as well, all the time. But they actually did really well, and we sold quite a few different bits and pieces, lots of stickers. We got a good amount of donations for the museum as well. Like you've mentioned, we had quite a few YouTubers turn up too, which was really nice. So Hubnut or Ian and Miss Hubnut, Carly, and the Hubmuts and the little Hubnuts. What are they called? Mini Hubnuts. There we go, got there in the end. And Bob and Bella were there. Too many Hubnuts for one
Team
party.
Hubnut,
Team Hubnut, we'll go with that. We're there with Bob and Bella, which is very nice to see them. Amber of Driven 24/7.
She was there with her Nissan 100NX, which is currently, as far as I know, still for sale.
Oh, there you go.
So if you want to look for a 100NX Nissan, go and check hers out. She's obviously got a pretty good record of it on her channel. Sorry, advertising other people's things.
You didn't say your catchphrase.
Yes, this could be yours. Fine.
It could be yours.
What else? Also, her dad brought down the Abarth 500, so that was quite nice to see. We had a good showing of Abarths.
We did. Thank you to the. I'm still going through my YouTubers. Hang on, we'll come back. We had Alex of All Things Alex with his Allegro, and Joseph of Joseph Lloyd, vehicle consultant, whatever.
Lloyd Vehicle Consulting.
That one.
She knows. She's
I
just
do
playing
know. I always say consultant, and I know, but that's
Consulting.
him by himself. It's consulting is the channel. That's where I get confused. And I think that was it for YouTubers, wasn't it? We had quite a few Weird Car Twitter, quite a few Twitter folk there as well, which was quite nice.
And a few people who hadn't heard about the party until that morning from
just
following
rocked
other
up.
people. So that's quite nice to see other people turn up as well. The numbers were humbling.
They were very nice.
And I like the variety as well.
We had a very good variety of random cars. There is a video on the channel. There's a video on the Hubnut channel. There's a video on Joseph's channel. There's a video on All Things Alex. There's a video on Driven 24/7.
The only other YouTuber that did turn up, who I've already mentioned before, was Minimat TV, but because he was spending a lot of time on Sunday looking at my car and also just trying to enjoy the day, I don't think he actually made a video of it. But again, very thankful to him for helping out with Millie.
Yeah. And we had a good show from the Abarth Owners Club from Sussex, Surrey, and Hampshire.
Well
done. Which was very nice of them. I know a couple of the people sort of like personally through Facebook and whatever, so it was nice for them to bring a load of cars down. We also had a very nice turnout from the West Country Minis. Barry, who is in the chat somewhere, brought along a lovely Red Hot, and a variety of other things. It was great. I saw all of them from afar. Well, another YouTuber that was there was driving with Nico, but he's a little bit more active on Instagram and Twitter with his mini Untold edition.
It's a clubman.
Yeah. Otherwise, driving with Nico has Nico. We'll call him driving with Nico. I know why he's not here because he's honeymooning in the Dominican Republic.
Lucky boy.
But he has his very fancy new Mini, and a little Mini, much like the little
Mini
500, the Mini, that he speeds around Castle Combe in.
32 miles an hour it'll do. In a
Yeah.
kid's toy.
Yes.
Pretty impressive.
And he also is the man behind the festive Mini, if you have seen that, which is a lovely Mini, all covered in twinkly Christmas lights.
Yeah, so go and check him out on Instagram if you want to see pictures of the previous years. I think he's doing it again this year.
There's
So-
certainly hinting.
Definitely. But yeah, go and have a look at Driving with Nico.
Yeah.
Sorry,
And
that's my plug.
That's fine. There's loads of people there that turned up, and you'll probably recognise some cars and bits and pieces as well. But go and watch the videos. It's the best way, if you weren't there, to go and have a look and see what was there. I think overall the day was successful, and we were very tired by the end of it.
I was amazed by the variety of cars there were. It wasn't just like one or two different makes. They actually
we
had
had
people
loads of
all
stuff.
over the car scene, which is really nice.
Yep.
Seems that I haven't even explored yet either on the channel. So.
And we had, some very, very helpful and willing family to do some marshalling. We had the mums marshalling
Yeah, so you probably saw
in the
them.
morning. So if you were there, that was our mums.
We had a Ferrari to have as well.
We did. The lovely, that was, I'm going to assume, Mr. and Mrs. Greasley, which I can imagine them as like in a storybook characters. Turned up with their Ferrari. They were a lovely couple, very nice people. So if they happen to watch this or join in, hello.
I did mention in the video that they actually offered the marshals cups of tea and coffee during the day,
which is really kind of them.
Yeah, we didn't ask them to do that at all.
And we did make sure that the marshals were fed and watered, don't you worry.
Yes.
But yeah, so go and check out the videos. I think we're
all of
kind
them,
of,
not just ours,
yes,
if you haven't already.
we will do a big share of them at some point, potentially tomorrow or towards the end of the week, which we should have done already, but again,
No
rubbish
internet.
internet, haven't had the time. I think that's pretty much it though. We
That's it for the party day
flopped when
itself.
yes, it was very nice to have it done, but also we did have a bit of like a party come down, didn't we? It was a bit like, oh
I had to go in a Toyota GR Yaris as well that day.
yeah, you did.
Not a drive, but passenger ride.
yes.
Still fun though.
But we already have plans for the next one. They've been verbal plans, nothing set in stone, but something will be happening. We can
In
tell you that.
2023.
Yes,
Not
not this
2022.
year. Not this year. Give us a break. But we now have a better idea of how we're planning it, what we're doing, where we're going, how we're going to get there, and that sort of thing. So hopefully it will run a bit smoother this time.
Yeah, but I will say one thing that I was quite pleased about was I haven't seen any negative comments about it online anywhere.
No, not at all. So please don't
No.
go and leave them now that you said that. Oh, it's rubbish because I couldn't go. Yeah.
No, I think sort of the worst of the comments was basically people that didn't necessarily want to go in and see helicopters and planes.
Yeah,
and all
didn't
that,
want to go in the
but that's
museum.
fine,
There was
personal
nothing to do,
preference.
but that's up to you.
Yeah.
It's quite a good museum, whether you like planes or not.
But,
All the information is completely over my head, but it's quite interesting.
but if that's the worst, I will take it.
Exactly. Then we headed off back to. Oh no, you didn't. You had a week off. I had a bit of work that week.
Yeah, but what else happened after the party, Genevieve?
Oh yeah, Monday morning, disaster struck. I was happily snoozing away still in the morning because we had a good and well-deserved lie-in on that Monday morning, and a lovely lorry driver decided to be not quite so lovely to Doran and my mum and scrape along the side of the car. So the whole of the driver's side is got nice scrapes and alloys, but apparently they just clipped the wing mirror. So there's lots of pictures have been taken and lots of stuff happening, but hopefully she will be fixed and sorted at the end of October. We'll keep you updated on that.
Might have to post some pictures online.
I will. I'll put some pictures on.
But yes, Doran is
Sympathy
not.
vote.
She's not in the best of condition at the minute,
No,
but
but she's
still.
drivable. She's fine. She's okay. She's just a bit ugly.
And just for those concerned, yes, her mum is okay.
Yes, everyone's fine.
Shocked,
I was more concerned about my mom than the car. Put
shocked,
it that way.
surprised. Obviously, a crash is never or accident or whatever. You know,
Well,
it's never.
yeah,
It's
just-
never a nice situation. It's just
One of those
Nobody
things
was
that
injured.
unfortunately happens. No, but
apart from the car.
yeah, it'll all be fixed. It's fine. Cars can, in the nicest possible way, cars can be replaced. I was leaving it there so that we don't lose the question. Okay.
I'm being told off.
Well, I was just thinking we'll stop in a minute. We've done half of September and then we can
Okay.
do some questions.
Okay.
Because a
Didn't realise it
lot
was
of
so
people have
structured.
joined us 14 people over here. Hello. And yeah, but Doran is fine. My mum is fine. Mum doesn't need to be fixed. Doran will be fixed. We'll be fine.
And she wasn't crying either about it, which is even better.
Crying. I was fine. Mum was crying. I wasn't crying. But she's okay. She's fine now. She's not still crying 2 weeks later.
Gosh, can you imagine?
Yeah. You flooded the whole house.
Oh dear. But bad things from that weekend. Millie wouldn't start and car broke.
Yeah.
In more ways than one. But anyway, shall we go back to these?
Yep. Let's just take us to the 13th, 14th, 15th. You fix Millie. We packed for the holiday, and then we headed to the Isle of Wight, and we will come back to that in a moment. Okay. See, it's on topic. That's why I kept it there.
Excellent.
What gave you the ideas for the 3D printed things? Except it was my ideas.
Yeah, go on.
They are car related. That are slightly unusual. We hadn't seen it around. It's not about making something that looks like a car. It can't be copyrighted or done in any sort of way like that, because lots of companies do them. They're very generic, simple shape, easy to print, apart from maybe the spark plugs, which caused a few problems, but they were fine in the end. Something that could be personalized and that was a bit more general, and also relative to minis, which is obviously the central part of quite a lot of what is covered on the channel, really.
Minis certainly do play a big part in the channel.
And it's something that we both like. A lot. Yeah.
Some more things that draw us together.
Aww. That was horribly timed. Oh, let's not do that again.
Okay.
But yes, that's why. There you go. But if there's anything else that you'd like 3D printed, he's your man.
Yeah, just let me know. And if you've got any ideas, again, I can always see about getting things printed.
Yes.
The Great Dorset Steam Fair is so expensive, says Finley. Yeah, it's not cheap anymore. It used to be reasonably priced, but it's really gone up in the last few years.
I don't think I've been.
Really?
I might have been. I'm not sure. I've been to so many car things in my life. I've got no idea what I've been to and what I haven't.
But I will say, regarding the Steam Fair, it has grown quite a lot over the last few years, especially since the virusy times, when obviously people wanted to get back out there again and explore and do more things.
Yeah.
So in a way, I don't want to say it's a justified price increase, but it has certainly changed a lot over at least the last 10 years. I'm wobbling.
You're wobbling the screen because I take it you've got cramp
yes,
pins and needles, because I have pins and needles really badly. We definitely need to find a better place to do these than in a bed.
Yeah, Thomas went to a show with both C5 apparently. Met someone who took his C5 to Dorset for the Steam Fair, I can only assume. Knew about the show before, but didn't realise how exclusive getting to display is. Yes, I think I saw some photos from that in the C5, or at least one of them on Facebook. I think I saw that particular one. I don't know the person, don't know the owner of this particular C5. But yes, I did see pictures. Incredibly dusty there, from what I understand. It's always covered in soot and dust.
Oh, it's that kind of place, isn't it? You need to go in dirty clothes.
It's the Steam Fair. You're going to get covered in soot and dust.
Yeah.
You know, It's almost like you've been driving a steam engine all the time, even though you've just been walking around those attraction engines.
Ian's got dodgy mainland geography, but that was rectified.
Yes, not near Malvern, no, between Salisbury and Blandford. I can't remember the name of the place now. I'd have to look it up.
Doesn't matter.
It's a village outside. It's more towards Blandford than Salisbury.
A 1.2 feet at 500 hire car on a trip in yellow. Nice.
I like the yellow 500s.
Somebody who works in my local Sainsbury's has a yellow 500, and she knows that I have Doran, and she always says hello. Her name is Jen.
It's Jen.
It's Jen. So we, share the first part of our name together. Is that hers is a J and mine's a G. Dorset's basically a load of fields. Is that just generally, or just the show? Rescue squad. I've seen your email. Thank you very much. I will get to you after this. 66 cars is amazing for a first show. It is. Thank you. It's not all cars. There was quite a few bikes. My neighbour goes out quite often for a Sunday ride out that way and takes a few friends, and normally it's just 2 or 3 of them. This time it was, I think, 4, maybe 5. So it was very nice to have all of them there.
It was good to see a few bikes turn up, actually, because I know we haven't really featured bikes on the channel as of yet. We definitely intend to show more in the future.
As the time goes on, yeah.
But it was good because I think in total we had maybe about 6-7 bikes turn up throughout the day.
Yeah, if not a few more than that, actually. Sorry,
Yeah.
it's my turn for pins and needles.
But yeah, it was good to see a bike turn up despite, I guess, a lack of bike content so far. That's probably the best way I can describe it.
Of course. Really enjoyed watching the coverage of the party. Stop wiggling. By everyone you mentioned, gutted I wasn't able to make it, but I hope to be able to come across the wet bit between us to attend a future party. Well, maybe we'll have to take the party over the wet bit to you.
Yeah.
Northern Irish fuel power party.
Let's see, how many viewers do we have in Ireland/Northern Ireland? We have Ian, I know that, but do we have any more?
Good evening, Mighty Cat Mods. Our
Yes.
cat is downstairs tonight because he makes somebody snuffly, so he's got to stay out of the bedroom. But I'm sure he's
asleep. So.
Yeah,
falling
off the sofa just like that, gradually.
It's all about saying hello at this point. Hello to Mark Tyler and to Stephen S. Paul as well. Hello.
Hello and howdy. Ooh, funky. Can you 3D print me a Yugo Sana body shell? Right, you can just go home and start.
Hey, Terry.
Good evening from Ireland. A Yugo Sana. What's wrong with the Yugo Sana body shell you've got, Matt?
I don't think there's anything wrong with it. Much. Got a bit of rust here.
Yeah, but you know all about that, so that's fine. He did ask very nicely, though. Thank you, please.
Yeah, maybe a fiberglass one, Matt. Tell you what, we'll take it all apart and we'll just make a fiberglass one.
A question for Mr. Yu over here. What
Excellent.
Drawing program do you use for 3D printing?
I use an online free, it's kind of a piece of software, I guess, but it's online. It's called Tinkercad. So you basically get a collection of various shapes, 3D, so you can get a cube, a sphere, just whatever choice you want, really. Make up the things in that, and then to print it, I export it to an STL file, then use Cura, which basically allows you to choose how you print it. So whether you print it, I'm going to get really technical here, as a skirt, which is just like a thing that goes around the outside of your shape, a raft, which is something it sits on, or a brim, which is basically like the brim of a hat. I can see.
I've watched this happen, and I still don't know what you're talking about.
I know.
No, I do have a vague. No. I do have a vague idea.
I can just see you blanking out. But yeah, that's how I do it. And then it just goes onto a tiny micro SD card, goes into the printer. Then on the printer, you put your filament in.
And away you go.
Press on and go, right, print this file, please, by pressing a button. And then away it goes. So how many minutes or hours or days you want it to be on for.
10 hours and 11 minutes or something, I think was our record, wasn't it?
Something like that, yeah. But that's what I use, Ian.
I had the C5 on its trailer behind the Traveller at our local car meet, and they got loads of it. I'm not surprised.
No, seeing Traveller is quite rare anyway, and obviously seeing a C5 is quite rare, but seeing them both together, that's quite a spectacle. And I really can't wait to come over and see both on at the same time, I guess, at a show. That'd be cool. We need to do that at some point, go over to Northern Ireland with Millie and maybe take the C5 as well.
Let's do that.
Take Trixie.
Put C5 in Trixie. That's how the C5 got to the party.
It does work amazingly.
Just can't sleep in at the same time. Tarrant Hinton is where the
there we go. Perfect. I thought it was Tarrant something. I couldn't remember the last bit. Sorry, enthusiastic. Yeah.
Fuel Power Party on tour. In fact, we were just talking about that earlier. Except we were making it more specific into because everybody seems to comment on the fact that it was in Middle Wallop, and that Wallop is a funny name. So the Fuel Power Party on tour in places with funny names. So go for it. Give us them. And we will see what we can do. A funny name with a museum or a large car park or something even better.
Someone that's willing to work with potentially 60-odd cars turning up. Yeah.
Nice to see you, hear from you, Terry. Hello. Is what I'm getting at.
Hear from
you.
Although we can obviously see the comments.
Big thumbs up.
Simone's got the cat right next.
What is your cat called? I'm probably asked that before, but
oh no,
I'm just intrigued.
Oh no, Thomas is pulling rank here. He's going to be an elitist and say anything less than industry standard in engineering software to design your printed stuff is for noobs.
Strong stuff.
My heart, it can't take it. No, it's fine. I only use it for a bit of fun anyway. For me. as well as obviously making merchandise.
Do
for the
you
channel.
do something technologically computey for university? Thomas? Is that his name?
Yes.
Thomas. Just asking.
There's a funny swearing name in Orkney. Well, there we go. That's where we'll have to plan it and get demonetized immediately. Hello and welcome to the party from Beep.
Just blank out the sign. Hello, Mendit Man. Funniest name in Ireland has to be Muff. My cat is called Georgia. She's been in my video. Oh, Georgia. Cute. Drove through a place called North Piddle yesterday. Oh.
Motorsport engineering. So that's what he does. Motorsport engineering at university.
That sounds interesting.
A lot of it is software based. So that's obviously why they use that software there.
Yes. So where were all these degrees when we were going to leaving college? I didn't get a motorsport engineering. Not that I'd wanted to do motorsport engineering.
If you don't want to do it, it's quite hard.
No, but I would have wanted to have done something. I quite liked engineering. The engineering teacher at my college tried to get me to do engineering after I'd left. You were supposed to have to pay for it, but he offered to give it to me for free because he thought I'd be good at engineering. I didn't take him up on the offer, and I instead went to work in a cinema.
I was an engineer last week.
You were an engineer last week?
Yeah. Well, we're getting to the end of the concept in a minute, apart from obviously all the names of places.
Yep.
So shall we talk about the weekend just gone? And all the fun that went on with that?
I think Shepton Mallet, I've
heard of a nickname but they can't repeat.
But is that not where Jodie Whittaker comes from? Or does she come from somewhere else?
I don't know.
I think she comes from somewhere else.
Geography is not my strong point.
Oh. I thought you'd be up on that with Doctor Who.
I like Doctor Who, but I don't know exactly where they come
near
from.
Me called Crapstone.
There we go. We'll have to organise.
See, motorsport engineering is I've just bypassed it. Oh well, never mind. I'm not saying you're old, Ian. You're just older than us.
Wow.
Well, I'm not. I just obviously didn't pay attention to that side of things. I was a bit focused on the primary education.
Tunnel vision.
Tunnel vision for education.
Right.
Anyway, we've reached where we are.
Last weekend. Let's talk about that.
Yes, 16th of September. We had a little run down from Southampton to Lymington to get on the... Sorry. That's it, Skelmanthorpe. I knew it was somewhere.
Did you just look that up, Finley? Or did you just know that off the top of your head?
Really good Doctor Who fan. I knew Shepton Mallet wasn't right, but I couldn't think of what it was called. Anyway, moving on. 16th, we went from Southampton to Lymington.
Oh, that's so great.
And we hopped on over to the Isle of Wight. We had a little half an hour trip. Very nice. Made a change from the Red Funnel hour from Southampton. And we went out for a lovely lunch.
The Fighting Cocks.
Fighting Cocks. There you go. That would time into our...
it's not about
dodgy names.
Gentleman sausages either. It's about the chicken sort.
The chicken sort. Yes. The poultry kind.
Yes.
Not the chickens, because that's the female ones.
Oh, all right.
Is it? I don't know.
Females are hens.
Anyway, fighting poultry, not fighting male genitalia. Or Viking cocks, as your nan said.
Sorry, it's something out of a Rick and Morty sketch, isn't it? That sort of thing. Or Big Mouth. Anyhow,
so we popped on over to the Isle of Wight for the annual West Country Minis Isle of Wight adventure. This was the 5th one. Jake has attended 4.
4 of them.
I've attended 2 now. It was only my 2nd. And we had a great time. We were very, very busy for Friday evening and Saturday most of the day. Probably not as busy as Mr. Pink, if he is still around.
He's gone for his curry.
Or Barry, to be honest. Oh, there he is.
You guys look great in high vis.
Thanks. And we were...
Sorry, it's rather kind. Hello.
We were in high vis jackets on Friday, doing a little bit of marshalling and doing a little bit of filming. You were filming.
Filming. Yeah.
I was just checking you were filming on Friday.
In the field.
in the Fairport.
The Fairport.
And yeah, so we were filming and marshalling, and we got the whole family involved. We were putting up marquees, we were putting out merchandise for mini sport.
It wasn't just us, obviously the team.
No, it wasn't just us. There was a loads of very
well,
helpful, lovely West Country Minis people who we could easily spend more time with, and definitely will be. We then went back to the caravan and had a very good night's sleep after a busy day, ready to do it all again on Saturday, where I took loads of photos of minis.
Really?
Surprisingly. And I don't even know how we managed to sort of fill the day with everything. We did filming and photos all day, and it was great. I think we were in our element on Saturday, and we had a great time.
How many photos did you take in total? On Saturday?
On Saturday, over 600.
And I got over Friday and Saturday, I got about 450 bits of footage, which is a lot on the SD card and the camera and everything else.
Yes. I also was chief raffle ticket ripper at the end of the day with my new little friend that I made, who was lovely. She was very helpful, Clara. And we had a bit of a win, shall we say, on the Saturday as well. Certain Mr. Somebody over here designed a rocker cover racer for the annual rocker cover racing competition to look like a train, more specifically the Isle of Wight train.
That went out of service last year.
Yeah, the Island Line. They are ex-underground trains.
Yes.
I learned something. And it was very accurate, and it was very good, and looked very, very similar. And Kevin Richardson from the Gentleman's Motor Racing Team YouTube channel, another YouTube channel that was it was based on the Isle of Wight.
Yes.
Came along to do the judging.
He does a lot of mini-based content, and he's very much into his motorsport, so please do go and check out his channel as well. Yep. And sorry, that's another plug.
He decided that Jake's was the winner.
For the looks, at least.
For the design. So you won a hat.
A hat.
For that. And then Jake went off to film, because he obviously had lots of things to do.
Loads of filming to do.
Left me to do the racing, where we raced our rocker cover against somebody else's. I'm calling it ours now because I was left to do it. Our rocker cover against somebody else, and it went down the track. And we also won that bit, which was very good. We had some stiff competition though. There were some very good races in there. Some big wheels helped some people, definitely. Yes. And I think weight helped yours more than anything else. It was definitely the heaviest.
Still under the...
it was under the limit, but it was definitely the heaviest out of all of them. Then we just filmed, and 26 entries we've just been informed. That's pretty impressive. I don't know how many it was last year, but that's a lot of people to compete against.
It's quite a considerable amount. Yeah.
And we've got some lovely footage of that as well. We've got some good photos, good footage. So pop over to Facebook and have a look at some of the photos, especially if you do like minis. Because, like I say, there's quite a lot of photos over there. And again, another fantastic event to join in. If you do have a mini, if you want to buy a mini.
It's mini, new and old, and all variants of it. So think things like the Scamp, the Moke, the Riley Elf and Wolseley Hornet, they're also welcome.
Yep. But yeah, head to the website, have a look at that, and pop on over next year. It'd be lovely to have even more people with us.
Yeah, Matt. Not a busy weekend at all, was it, this time? There we go. We got the final count was roughly about 340 minis in attendance this year, which is, I believe, the largest year so far.
Yes, that's a lot of cars.
A lot of minis.
No wonder I took so many photos.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. You've taken them all twice.
But yeah, so we had a fantastic day on Saturday, and we felt really in fuel power mode, which I think we quite enjoy. Bearing in mind we still do this, it is a hobby. Okay, we are earning a little tiny bit of money from it now, but it's like pocket money.
Good. Sit up.
Doing days like that is really lovely because we feel a lot more like we do this. It can feel like a job, can't it? Like rather than it being just 20 minutes of a day, doing it for a whole day, whole weekend is fantastic, and we really enjoy that sort of side of things, which is really nice. Sunday was equally as busy in the morning, first thing, except we were packing down everything this time, so we were putting the gazebos down and we were packing everything away. And then we had a really nice afternoon with a couple of the West Country Minis girls playing crazy golf.
Yeah, in Sandown.
It was great. Sandham Gardens. It's the second time we've played. We both got a hole in one, but I still didn't win. So my hole in one from the first hole didn't do me any favours.
We thought, oh, off to a good start, and then it was just a decline from that point onwards.
You did well though.
Oh,
You
yeah,
won.
no, I did quite well.
You did win, didn't you? Yeah,
Yeah.
you did win. I thought so.
44.
All right. You remembered it as well.
Probably got it in my pocket still, actually.
Probably.
The score sheet, do I? Yes.
Ooh, haven't washed. And then we proceeded to enjoy our holiday pretty much. Obviously, unfortunately, we had the funeral of Queen Elizabeth II on the Monday, which we did watch quite a lot of. We spent a lot of time kind of...
A lot of it frozen as well.
Yeah, a lot of it frozen, flicking backwards and forwards. Thankfully, it was on all the channels, so we could watch it all. But we did, I think it was nice to stop and reflect that. For us, it's a moment of history. Well, for everybody, it's a moment of history. But for us, thinking about the future of, potentially, generations of our family as we get older, telling them about that day where we sat, having just had, an amazing weekend, to sit on the Monday and watch this really somber occasion, I think was quite important for us to do.
I guess so, yes.
And then we knocked that on the head at about 2 o'clock and went swimming. And it was great. We had a great time. We then proceeded to have a really lovely holiday and a bit of a break from the online world because we had no signal and no internet. I think you were suffering a little bit more than I was. I was quite enjoying it.
I enjoyed not having it, but at the same time, at least with doing stuff like this, I've now been doing this for 2 years straight, 2.5 years even. It's certainly become a big part of my life. So
yeah, but I do think it's healthy to have a break. But I think, if anything, it was bad timing, wasn't it, really? The party and the party videos went out, and then all of a sudden we couldn't get internet or reply or share or even watch them. So I think that was probably where you struggled more.
Yeah.
Whereas I think in the future it will be quite nice to go back to that same caravan again, and
or at least the same site.
Yeah, same site, and have a complete break from the internet. It's quite nice.
Yes.
Then that pretty much brings us up to this weekend.
Yes.
Tomorrow we are heading to... can't remember what it's called.
You're not? Really?
Bewley, but something.
Simply British Classics.
That.
Yes, we're going up with Millie the Mini.
I was going to say Mini Day, but I knew it's not Mini Day because Gertie's going.
Yeah, it's not Mini Day.
No,
but Gertie the A30 van, which was ironically People's Choice Awards winner, I guess, at the Fuel Power Party. That's coming along as well. So we're probably going in convoy in the morning of the A30 and the Mini. So obviously, if you see us on the roads, give us a wave.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Ironically, Gertie's had a recent problem as well.
Yeah.
Because every vehicle seems to have problems before a significant, I guess, event. I think this is one of the last events of the year for Gertie. It certainly is for Millie.
Yes.
Getting towards the end of the year. And she had a problem with the fuel pipe. So luckily, that's managed to be repaired today. So yes, Gertie is now coming along tomorrow as well.
Yay.
So if you're coming along to Bewley tomorrow, then obviously we'll be there. So don't forget to say hi. Hopefully next year we'll have the C5 there as well. But as at this minute, there's no point taking it because it's just not ready to display. And it's, again, back in bits.
Yes.
Since the party.
And I think that pretty much sums up our September because it's October by next week.
Yes, although we are still doing one more thing after that.
Yes.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Really? We're only discussing it this morning.
Oh, is that what we were talking about?
Yeah, we're going to do the SMMT test days. So.
Oh, that wasn't what I had in my head.
Was it not?
No.
Oh dear. Sorry, it's been a long, long week for her.
Yes.
And for me and everyone. But yeah, SMMT test day. We attended the national one earlier this year at the Millbrook Proving Ground in, I think it's Bedfordshire, if memory serves correctly. That was a really good day. Got to have a look at, I think, about 6 vehicles. Not all of the videos are released yet, so I actually need to get on top of those a bit more. But maybe over winter when there's less events to go and see and do, then maybe some more of that will come up on the channel. But yes, we're going to go to that. So hopefully you'll get to look at some brand new vehicles. So give a bit of variety to the channel again.
Yeah,
but
nice. This is a regional one, so we're not heading up to Bedfordshire. We're only going to Basingstoke.
No, so it's not too far for us this time, being in the south. So yes, that is what we're doing for September, I guess. And onto that, it's in October already. But do we want to go into October yet? Or
I don't really think much is going to be happening going forwards, but obviously we will have a kind of an update at the end of October. That's the thing. It's kind of, we do a little bit of October coverage, I suppose, because we won't see you again probably until like Halloween, or just before. I think pretty much shows are drawing to a close.
Yeah,
as far as we know for the cars that we've got. We've also made a list today of all the things that need to happen in winter. So we better stop going to things because we're going to run out of weekends.
Yes, definitely. Some of them involve obviously repairs on the cars, and the C5 and the caravan. Although the caravan's in pretty good condition, and there's a couple of little things that need doing, especially over the last year. But this year has been very much a year of exploration with the caravans. We've never had caravans ourselves before. No. I know you said your dad had bought one previously.
Yeah, we had a few grown. We had a few grown as I was growing up, but
my family's never had caravans before. So for me, at least, it's been a huge learning curve and a different experience. So
yeah, and we also want to make sure that Trixie's ready for the start of the new year, so we can hopefully get out a little bit earlier. And go and stay away in places.
We were only able to go out in May this year because it wasn't ready until then. It was very much in many pieces in the garage.
Until the day we needed it.
Yeah, literally finished an hour before we set off on the day we actually needed it. So,
but I think other than that, really, October is going to be pretty quiet in terms of car shows. But videos will still happen. Hopefully, blog posts will happen again over on the website and the blog.
Yes,
I've been a bit quiet. I've not been very good at that, but juggling work and stuff, unfortunately, hasn't happened this kind of half of this year. But hopefully, it will pick up, and I will be more organised, and then hopefully get in a routine, and it will stay throughout this show season next year as well. But I think that's it for October.
Yeah, October. I think looking to do things like the Halloween Action Day.
Potentially, yeah. We'll see about, because we were going to take Doran up for that, because she's slightly more Halloween themed already, but it depends on how she's feeling.
And whether the repairs are happening then and how long it's going to take. And we can always still go in the Panda or something. I know it's not what we planned, but plans change sometimes.
We'll see what happens. Right, let's scroll up a little bit, shall we? We look great in high vis. We'll go back to that and then see. Barry spent more time, this is back to the Isle of Wight, spent more time trying to keep an eye on my youngest. The power of high vis went to her head. I liked the fact that she was walking around. She had a high, I don't know if you saw her, she had a high vis and a little chair. That was my favourite. She's like a little director.
Yes, I did see that.
Plonk herself down and watch the world go by. It was brilliant. Maybe she could help me next year on the gate on the Friday night of telling people where to go.
Stand in front of the car like, no, stop.
You go that way, you go that way.
And you're just there like, hi, welcome.
Hello. I'm up for a little helper. I'm happy with that. I like minis up until 2000, each to their own. But we don't want to start any mini arguments over here.
No, personally, I prefer the classics.
Yeah, I think we're both classic preferences.
You know, everyone's got different circumstances. For those that
much like the Eevee conversation, it depends on who you are and what you do.
Yeah, but those who've got different circumstances, some people just want one vehicle that will do their daily lives as well as to take to shows. Then obviously bring in new ones, fine by me. Plus, it keeps the mini love alive. So
yes,
early new minis are brilliant and have aged really well. Yeah, the Y-Reg minis and I guess the R50 minis, they're doing really well. They're actually going up in value at the minute. They're doing really well.
Yeah,
for that.
Was that sort of their?
They're the first.
They're but they're all still also like as we get older and the years go on, they're going to become the classics, and I think people who are going to look after them and still will love them love them no matter whether they're a modern or a classic, because by the time little ones like Barry's children, that will be a classic to them, because
and Ian, your son, he'll
exactly.
see that as classics, you know.
And ours will be ancient.
Yeah. Well, it's funny to think, isn't it, that the oldest of the new minis is now over 20 years old.
Yeah.
I say new minis, that's
the BMW.
The BMW years minis, I guess, of the new shape. It's confusing.
That's fine. Matt, she's well up. Just need to keep her away. We'll keep her away from the helicopters, off the live airfield. That doesn't go down well, does it? We know that. Rocket covers. Good evening, Carlos. Sorry, we were mid-chat. We did see you arrive on here.
I strolled in.
Part of the bigger thing I want to do that will possibly unfold. Ooh, okay, some unfolding.
I think I've missed that bit of the conversation. What
I think it's something to do with minis. I don't really know.
It might be.
We'll have to watch the videos.
Rocket cover racing is always a lot of fun. Got to the semi-finals of IMM Ireland with your own race. Yes, I remember you telling me.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
I feel like IMM, as much as 26 is good, I feel like IMM would bring a greater number. To have a semi-finals. I don't know when I didn't know when the final was with yours, never mind the semi-final.
IMM as an event is always considerably larger than any other gathering, as far as I know.
For minis, yeah.
I'm sure Matt can tell you all about that.
But the e-bike was of interest. The e-bike is fun. I like the e-bike.
Oh yeah, you rode the e-bike,
didn't
you?
I was terrified that I was going to fall off, but it was fun. I would like to have another go with a bit more time rather than just riding up to the thing.
I'd have given it
Getting
a go,
on it was the worst thing. I'm not quite tall enough for bikes with bits on the top. It needs to be underneath for my little legs.
I'd have had a go on it.
I know you would. There'll be another opportunity, I'm sure.
Trying it around the yard where Matt's storage unit is not the largest place to really open it up, but it's still fun. I like e-bikes. E-bikes are great things.
CCMC.
Causeway Coast Club, Mini Club.
Okay.
Sorry. Causeway Coast Mini Club.
It's my Irish translation.
Event over here. Got 488 cars, and I think they're the biggest number as well. So there we go. 2022 is a really good year for mini shows, basically.
Do more show visit stuff next year. Hope you'll be part of my channel content. Good. It sounds interesting. I like a bit of show walk around sometimes. So.
Do you plan to come down to any of the ones in the South Loop? That'd be quite good to actually finally meet you in person. Also, which ones are you looking to do in the future? Are you going to, because you're Cambridgeshire area, if I remember rightly off the top of my head, without trying to reveal specifics of where people live, for obvious reasons.
It was a lot colder camping at the Isle of Wight than the fuel power party. Yeah, well, that's
because the Isle of Wight.
They've not got the blocker of the Isle of Wight in the way to take the wind off, because it is.
No. Also, you did have a pretty big fire at your campsite for the fuel power party, if I remember from your pictures.
Yeah.
So
you should go and camp at the cafe. They had a big fire pit. They kept you warm.
Well, the Simply stuff is great. Yes, I love Simply events.
Yep.
They're really well put on, quite well organised, I think, as well.
Apart from the Italian one, but we'll brush over that. It might be better next year.
Yeah, I think this is the first year they did the Italian one. Like in a while, at least.
Either in a while or ever, and it just was a bit higgledy-piggledy.
I think they're expecting things like Ferraris, Maseratis, Alfas,
Which, I mean, there were plenty of them.
I don't think they're expecting a few Fiat Pandas and 500s to turn up.
Just plonk us in the middle of the Maseratis.
Never mind. But if Matt wasn't feeling rubbish, he would have come along. That's right. Yeah, well, you've had a very busy few weekends, Matt, with not only your obviously help and support with the party, and then obviously the Isle of Wight, which was a huge event.
Work and everything as well. So
and work, yeah. So, no, you deserve a rest, mate. Have a good one with that. That sounds like...
Bye! He wants rid of you. See you later.
Sorry, that sounded really too casual, didn't it?
Hard to believe that a year ago
that
I got to Simply Bitch. Was that a year ago? Wow.
Yeah. So, it was a year ago this weekend.
Blimey.
Because that was also Rally Day at Castle Combe.
Oh, yes, because we saw your...
And that's also where I met Kev for the first time of the Gentleman's Motor Racing team.
Oh, like a reunion month, September, isn't it?
I know. I saw Kev last weekend, and I obviously won't be seeing Ian this weekend, but maybe next year. I'll FaceTime him. There we go. That's how we can make that work. Does the C5 count as a British classic? I'd imagine it would do.
Anything is pre-2000 now. Simply British Classics. It was pre-1990 last year, and it's pre-2000 this year.
Nearly snuck in because she was H-Reg.
Yeah,
even though she's 91.
They don't pay attention. So, but yeah. So in theory, don't see why not.
It's 1980s, so
if they jump it forwards, say 10 years again, in 5 years' time, that means both the Fiats could get in.
What's a British Classic event?
Well, not British Classic, but like a classic. That's mad, doesn't it?
Possibly. It just depends on
or something
the
age of the Fiat. You know what I mean? That's
We're working
crazy.
on my road around the Cortina soon. That'd be good to see.
I thought of you two the other day. My dad buys cheap caravans, and he bought him this cute little caravan called a Kip. Have you heard of Kip or KIP? No. From the fact that I don't know how to say it.
No, I don't think I've heard of that. I'll have to look it up. I'll have a look at it in a minute.
Bye, Finley. Sorry, we're a little bit late to say goodbye, but bye. Eevee's bikes are fab. Have you had a go, Carlos, or have you just gone and had a look at them?
I think he actually went on the bikes from what he was telling us, or at least on a bike, if not all of them.
When Bertie is my age, the Traveller will be 100. Whoa. Gosh.
God, can you imagine? Wow. That's actually really quite scary.
Cars that are 100 years old are still going to shows and events and stuff.
Yeah.
We were supposed to have a 1926 and a 1937 car turn up to the party, and they unfortunately didn't. We don't know why. But that would have been quite cool to have.
Yeah.
Cars right from really old to quite new. Did you see the video of her and Mark's daughter as the helicopter went past? They came. No, we didn't. Oh, we'll have to try and see that one.
If you can send it to us, that'd be even better.
I don't know who Mark's daughter is. Who's Mark?
Oh no, you're putting me on the spot.
Oh, I don't know who that is. There's lots of people that I don't know the names of. I recognise their face, but don't know who they are. My oldest vehicle is 60 years old next year. It's a 1963 Lambretta.
Oh, that's cute.
See, Gertie is 66. She's 56 registered. So yeah.
I like the old Lambrettas. My nan and granddad used to have one back in the late 50s. So I've certainly got a soft spot for the old Lambrettas.
Yeah. Such a sentimental little one, aren't you?
Yeah, why not?
Maybe next year. Yes, maybe next year. That'd be nice. Bring the whole family over. Come and. You know.
Or 2024.
Yeah, anything.
We can plan something, I'm sure. Hopefully next year. Next year will be good.
It would be more the older car show stuff. I'd like to get down south.
Day job.
Just hamper that a bit, as my main work is gardening, with very busy in the summer months. Yes.
That's understandable.
I think we empathise, whatever the correct word there is, with construction-y, garden-y, landscapey things as well, being busier in the summer than the winter because the rain tends to put it off.
I've been doing a lot of landscaping recently with a digger. It's been good fun.
There was a picture of that on Instagram.
I know.
Road to Zero, silly fast. Well, we'll have to get a video.
He has actually given me the SD card for that, but as we say, we need to get that sorted. I haven't had a chance to yet. Too busy.
TC turned 50 on the 12th of September. Oh, happy 50th birthday. Did they have a balloon like Millie did last year?
Yeah, Millie had a 30 balloon at BMC in Leyland Show last year, because it was actually that weekend. That was great. I love the BMC in Leyland Show. We need to do that next year.
Right, well, we ask for questions, because I think we're knocking on an hour and 20 minutes, and it's...
Have we really been talking that long?
Yep, and it's 9:20. Let's ask for some questions, ask for anything else that you want to say. You've got 5 minutes to type them in, and then we'll get answering.
Okay.
My teacher voice came out there. So
yeah, that is your teacher.
You've got 5 minutes. No, I'm not mean. But in the meantime, smile. There we go.
I'll also actually, just going back to the Isle of Wight with the rocker cover racer. Not because,
Not because you've won or anything.
No. No, I did actually take it to the Haven Street Isle of Wight Railway Museum.
Train story.
Yeah, that's it, train story. Took it into there because they've actually got more of the old Isle of Wight trains, I guess, in there to show the story of it. They are carriages, yeah. They've actually got one of those in there which I based it on, so it's quite nice to get a photo of the two together.
We can put them on Instagram as well.
Any chance we could possibly 3D print a mini TC? Yeah, potentially. You can always have a look at it. Just depends how complex the shape is, I guess, to make. So it's hard to say without obviously getting dimensions and sizes and things and scale. But it's something that can be decided.
Definitely hoping to have a family holiday to the mainland next year, maybe the Cotswolds.
Oh, Cotswolds
Go
would be
for it.
nice.
That's not very far away from us. We can get to the Cotswolds and have a
meet up.
There you go. Matt's offering useless advice. Helpful. No balloon. Maybe for 51.
Car names. What's the background to why they're called what they're called? Okay, Genevieve, I'll let you go first because you've only got one.
Oh, I've only got one. Doran came from misprint my nan's bank account details, which we only discovered when we were sorting it out when she passed away. Her name was Doreen, so Doreen, and they'd written it as Dorren. And I didn't necessarily want to call it Doreen after my nan directly. So I went with that instead. Don't really know why. It just kind of happened and it stuck. It was between that. It was going to be Tango.
Tango would have been a good name.
Yeah, Tango.
Especially
Or
Tigger.
Bits, It was Tigger, Tango, or Doran. So I went with the one that nobody else would have called any of their other cars and called it Doran.
Fair enough.
Just to be different.
Yeah, fair enough. Whereas with me, then, I guess we can do Trixie first. It's joint, nice link.
Yeah.
Why Trixie Trident?
I don't know, because it.
I thought it was because we had all the stickers on it saying like powered by pixie dust.
Oh yeah,
and it was like Pixie, Trixie. Yeah, it kind of works.
Pixie, Trixie. Yeah.
Trixie and obviously Trident. You got that TT, haven't you?
Yeah.
So
we tend to have that, don't we?
Yeah.
Apart from Doran, the 500 doesn't.
No, but yeah.
But then neither would a Tango or Tigger, so it doesn't really matter.
No. So
Fiero, the 500.
What shall I start with? It's hard to say, isn't it? Shall I start with Millie, Pogo?
Go oldest to youngest.
Oldest then. Okay, Millie. Millie I called Millie because it sounded a bit like Minnie, and I didn't want to be generic and call it Minnie the Mini. That would sound really silly. At least in my opinion. I'm sure people have called their minis
Minnie.
of
course they have.
But I wanted to go slightly different, and also the number plate is quite, I guess, distinctive with MGM, which of course a lot of people go with it. Oh, look, Lion, because the MGM Metro Goldwyn Mayer company. So I thought it's got to start with an M. So I thought, well, Millie the Mini, it has a nice ring to it. It kind of works.
I think sometimes it gets caught in your head and then it just sticks, doesn't it?
Yeah. So that's why Millie had that. The Renault, I guess, because it is still out there.
Yeah, it's still out there.
That doesn't actually technically, I guess, have a name in a minute. It's always just been known as the Renault to me because that used to be my dad's car, and for 15, 16 odd years, that's all I ever called it.
Yeah, I don't think he's not a car name, or is he, your dad?
No, but recently it did get given the nickname the 99 Flake because some paint was flaky off and it was showing lots of brown underneath, which I thought was quite fitting for it, so I might just keep that as its nickname for future reference with it.
Flaky.
So I might just get 99 Flake, get a plate made up for it or something. Pogo, the Panda, so called because suspension in the Panda 100 HP, for those who have never been in one or driven one, it is rock solid. Bounces everywhere on rather potholed roads, shall we say, which unfortunately we tend to have a lot of in Wiltshire. Not so much in Hampshire, I found. But
you can have the good water reservoirs and we'll have the good roads. How about that?
There we go. Solid trade-off there. But no, Pogo got given that name because it tends to bounce around quite a lot on rough, uneven roads. The C5 currently unnamed, but I'm sure we'll be given.
You're playing
something.
with names.
I'm playing with names on that, so that will be revealed in time. Well, so I guess we've got the extended fleet. We could be here all day mentioning
those. We won't
those.
go with those. We won't.
But those are the more immediate members of the fleet, shall we say.
If you do want to know the extended fleet, we can rattle through them quickly because that's more on my side than yours anyway.
Yeah. I'll do mine first, somebody wants to.
I said the C5 should be called Clive, but that was poo-pooed.
Clive. You did call him Ian Sinclair, though, Carlos, in your video from the party.
Done that one.
I mean, admittedly, there are a lot of Ians at the car scene.
You mentioned bikes on the channel in the future. What sort of bikes are you thinking? That's Carlos's forte, and I've noticed he's answered later on, so all sorts of stuff.
Zero bikes mainly, which is I think a fairly newish brand in the bike world. There's quite a lot of them actually hitting the market now, fairly new brands, especially electric ones. Yes, you did. I had a look in the video. I was like, pretty sure he said Ian several times. But no,
too many Ians floating around.
I did put a bell caption on it to say Clive, so I think we got that covered.
Just out of them. Do you know the next plan for Hugo?
Get him started.
Yeah, I was going to say start him up.
But that's Matt's job, I think.
Yes, and in case anybody missed it, Matt's not feeling great at the minute, so he's not been down to the unit, so we don't know when it will happen, but we will update you as soon as we know.
And I'm sure hopefully we'll get that filmed as well. So it'll be even better. So hopefully you can join in with the celebration.
Yeah.
Rejoicement.
Rejoicement. I think you just made up a word now.
Why not?
I've got plenty to name. Oh, sorry, Carlos, I really like retro stuff, but I'm really getting quite interested in electric bikes. There will be plenty of electric bikes, I'm sure.
Hopefully, we can get some electric bike content out there and just see what people think of it, basically. I'm quite interested to see it because we obviously featured electric cars on the channel before.
Yeah.
And so far, the electric vehicles have actually done really well. So I'm interested to see what electric bikes will do. Again, I know we're not so far a bike channel, but I'm quite happy to add that to it. You know, it makes it a little bit different and sets it aside from other channels, I suppose.
Yeah. Got plenty to name. I've only named a few old mopeds up to now. Different electric bikes. Yeah, we're getting to know some really good people who are very, very hot on what they do in terms of the bikes and cars and stuff. So they'll make sure all of the information is given to you when the time is right. Stop typing now. I never named the Traveller other than Cooper S Traveller, but that more what it is. My mini rally was the beige one because it was beige, and my TT was called TT, so I only named 2 cars out of 30.
You've had quite a few cars, then, Ian.
Yeah, that's quite a list.
Oh, here's an idea for a video for you. Or for anybody who wants to make one. Hey, why don't we do this as a collab idea? Just thought this up on the top of my head right now.
Golly.
Do a history of your cars over however long you've been driving.
Oh, bloody hell. Could you imagine if Dad did one?
Yes, I can.
You'd be there for hours.
Mine is going to be very short because I've still got all of the cars I ever owned.
Me too. No, I don't actually. I don't.
No. So there we go. A challenge, collab. Maybe that's something we can discuss. So from last month's live stream, we got the music video.
The music, yeah. God.
And the Christmas
Anybody
album.
thought of any songs for the song, by the way? For the automotive YouTube song? Remember, it's got to have some rap in it. Amber's bringing the rap. Hugo will be waiting a few more weeks, but next video will be fitting of replacement ignition and service parts, more wiring than try to start. Ooh.
That's exciting.
Currently sourcing an alternator and mounting brackets, both are missing.
Ooh. Well, there we go then. That's your latest update on Hugo the Hugo. See, that's the thing you wouldn't get if we were just making videos out of live streams.
Very true.
Right.
Unless we do a live stream from Matt's unit.
True.
We'll have to do that one day, Matt. We'll have to come and
raid
plonk ourselves in the unit, and you can join in actual match rather than in virtual match.
Speaking of live streams from other places, we have had an invite to do a live stream from J&M's dealership in Swindon, so that could be quite exciting.
Could be. Is it warm, and do they have chairs?
I hope so. I don't know whether we'll be able to do one as late as 8 o'clock, though. It just depends how.
No, that's the only thing. It would
how willing the team down there be to obviously play, I guess. But
collab will be a plan. We'll get some people on that. I think that'd be quite interesting.
Yeah. Sorry, we just missed comments.
No, we didn't.
Apart from the Cortina, my Rover is called Kone, Kawasaki's Pinky, and my Yamaha is Buddy. So some very nice names there, Simone, with the fleet you got there.
Coney just reminds me of that thing that was like Coney 2012. Do you remember that?
You know, I don't.
Oh, it was like all round school. But
Oh yeah, but I actually know, was I still in school in 2012?
yes, because we're the same age.
No, God, I can't remember about that far. It was too long ago.
Yeah, it was. I don't even know what
Sorry,
it was.
it's 10 years ago at this point, so I remember school.
It's very warm, and they have sofas and tea. Ooh.
Ooh, I'm not sure
Do they have
tea will do
Ribena?
for me, but there we go. Get Ribena in, and
We just need. That's where we
We're
need to get a
sorted.
sponsor from. I've had a few cars since 1993 and haven't got photos, but I can work something out. I passed my test in a 1983 MG Metro. I passed my test in a 2009 Fiat 500.
was that your car?
Yeah.
I passed my driving test in a 2013 Ford Fiesta 1.5 diesel. I can't remember the spec because the car I don't think is not a vehicle anymore.
No, it won't be, not anymore.
No, I've moved on to newer
At
Fiestas or
at
whatever.
least twice.
They'll have moved on to the latest Fiesta, Clio, Polo, something of that general size. Maybe even Corsa.
My bike is called Lucille and my Golf is Sasha.
Yes, I remember
Lucille, I didn't know Sasha.
I remember from when we did your American road trip that Lucille was named as part of a competition. I can't remember the exact reason the competition happened, whether it was for charity or something.
It's an interesting name. It's a different name. Like, you get quite a lot of the kind of common ones, like, not that it's wrong, but like Millie and Molly and that kind of stuff.
He is just asked an interesting comment. More question, I guess. Sorry, it's getting late. Let's have a look.
No, we've done all of those. The furthest up we've got is the Lucille and Sasha.
Mm-hmm. One video going live on several channels all at the same time. See, that's a good idea. Maybe that's something we can all discuss in the coming months to do over winter. That's an idea.
Golly, okay.
Can you imagine that? That'd be awesome.
That would be cool. The other thing I was thinking of is an advent calendar.
Ooh.
You could have 24 different people.
Yeah.
Right up to then, and then you can do what you like on the last day.
There we go.
There you go. Advent calendar. Every 24 different people all on the 24 days, and then on Christmas can be our song. And then that's the same video that goes live on the same time.
Can you imagine?
Matt has sofas and tea at his workshop, and we can bring Ribena because we've done that before.
He does.
Can we still film in your workshop at like 8 o'clock at night though?
Meanwhile, Carlos did his test in a 1988. He did his test in 1988 in a Nissan Sunny.
I think my dad's was in a Nissan Sunny.
Was it?
I think so, but then it was in 1987. So there's not much difference in time.
No. My dad's test was done in a Triumph Herald back in some year in the 60s. Probably late 60s, I'd imagine. And Mum, I think, was in a 1970 Mini Mark II. As far as I know. Because that was Dad's Mini, but...
So yours was the newest out of all of them? Because despite the fact you learnt to drive before I did, my car was older.
That's true. Yeah. I like the Fiesta. Fiesta was a good little car.
My first car was a Mark 1 Fiesta 1.1 called Bessie. Oh, cute. Will your podcast you mentioned before still on the cards?
Yes, we have still got that on the cards.
Yes.
Don't know whether it will still be called the Tax and Tested podcast, although I do like the name. We've just obviously with everything else going on in life at the minute, it's not been the easiest thing to try and plan that on top of.
No, but we have spoken about it, about like obviously originally Tax and Tested was you and Carlos talking about car
along with
things.
Chris as well, who has very kindly spent a lot of time in the last few weeks printing off all the stickers and various banners for the party as well.
Yes.
But Chris is a very busy boy, so I don't know whether he'd be part of that. And besides, that was the pilot, I guess.
Yeah. Just
to see what people thought, and it did actually get quite a lot of good feedback. I think the only major problem we had with it was sound levels at the time.
But you were also filming it in
but we were filming
lockdown, weren't you?
Yes.
So you could come together now and do it together, so that would work better.
Yes, we were filming in lockdown. We didn't necessarily have the best recording equipment between us either at the time. But since then, I think all of us have actually improved our audio equipment and stuff. So hopefully we should get a better quality of recording. So
Carlos is up for it.
there we go. So
It might be it will be a 2023 slow build. We'll put
yes,
it like that.
I don't want to put a date on it because, well,
it's not.
it
The
depends.
idea's not gone away. Put it that way.
No, it's just we've been very, very preoccupied with everything else.
Yes, and everything else that's happened really quickly. Because that's another thing we haven't mentioned.
Go on.
We hit 2,000 subscribers this month as well.
Yeah, we did.
So
On the Saturday, whilst we were very, very busy filming.
Yeah, on the 17th, we clocked over our 2,000. We only just about managed to see it on the dodgy internet because we're not going to mention that anymore.
No.
And it's slowly built another 60 over the last week, which is a bit crazy. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We've got a few little kind of minor goals in our head for coming up, but nothing too major. Nothing that we're going to necessarily share. Obviously, hitting any sort of milestone is amazing. And kind of blows you away a little bit. Bearing in mind, at the start of this year, we were going, let's get to 1,000.
Let's aim for 1,000 by Christmas.
Yeah, and we're not even at the end of September quite, and it's 2,000, so it's quite impressive. But still, please share with your friends and family and anybody that's interested in cars, or even if they just subscribe to join us, have a chat for 2 hours once a month.
Yeah.
It's lovely to have anybody.
Maybe not 3,000 by Christmas, Ian. Maybe not. We'll see.
Sorry, numbers don't work well in my head.
It's all right.
Congrats on 2K. Have you thought any more about having a multi-panel live? Again, it's something that is we're going to have to look into it.
I think that's probably going to be something for the lives going into 2023.
We could always trial it for maybe the December one, just as a bit of a go, because people are going to be in the midst of celebrations probably. So it might be just worth a little try with anybody who's free and wants to have a chat, because sometimes it can be that kind of Christmas, New Year time is brilliant for people who've got lots of family and stuff around you. But if you don't, then sometimes it's quite nice to have a little bit of a chat with people.
Does this mean we have to do a subscriber special video? I think it does, doesn't it, really?
Potentially, but I don't know what that would be.
No. We'll have to get thinking about that, because we really weren't expecting to...
In theory, the party could be the subscriber special, because it was only the day before.
Technically.
Nearest, damn it.
StreamYard is the way to go with the multi-setup.
Okay. We'll definitely have to look into these things. We've got, as we kind of sort of mentioned, I mean, I know your work is still going to be busy for now.
Yeah.
But as the weather draws in, Jake's work does tend to ease up because
a lot of it's outside.
Yeah, because of a lot of it's outside. It's rained off quite often.
Yeah.
So we will get days where we can sit and do these things, which will actually be quite nice. And my job is changing again to go back into schools. So I will be in school either 3 or 4 days a week, depending on the time of year. And so I will have a dedicated fuel power day once a week, which is crazy that we've got to the point that we can do that. It's quite nice.
Yes. Also, just going back onto the podcast thing, because I guess podcasts and live streams kind of linking together quite nicely. Yeah. They're, I guess, kind of similar in the sense that you can have a chat with people and obviously just talk as naturally, I suppose, as possible.
Yeah.
At the time we were doing the Tax and Tested pilot, at the time the channel was, I think, about 300, 400 subscribers, which, you know, it's obviously we're now at 2,000. It's considerably, I guess, larger number to what it was at the time.
Mm.
And obviously through the powers that be at YouTube, it has now, I guess, opened up the channel to more people.
Yeah.
Which means we've now obviously got more people we can talk to, more people we can obviously get on and have as special guests. So potentially that's something we could look at doing in the future.
Oh, yeah,
maybe have like a special guest host as well as maybe regulars. I don't know.
You could, people could apply to do it, and you could pick it on like a little like whirly raffly thing.
Yeah, that'd be good.
And then like the next month, it could be that person's time to have a chat. But we have spoken as well about, we enjoy this so much that obviously the podcast with the Tax and Tested thing, we keep saying tried and tested. Tax and Tested is obviously Carlos, Chris and Jake. Like that's their thing. It's cars and bikes and things that go with an engine. But obviously we do talk about mostly cars here, but
we're not all one-dimensional.
no, but it is mostly cars. We're still on it's still fuel power, it's still cars and car-based content and that kind of stuff. But we have spoken quite a lot about us doing a podcast as well, because we do enjoy this and we do enjoy the random chat, and it would literally be a random chat. But having been in the car, going on long journeys and that sort of stuff, it's, it's something that we might toy with, because I don't want to be left out. Serious FOMO over here.
But yeah, those are some of the ideas we've had floating around. But it's maybe something we can look at again over winter for heading into the new year, because October, as you've already mentioned, things sort of start to die down quite quickly, actually.
Yeah, it's just then making sure that we're ready for the
2023
craziness that will be next year.
March, when it all kicks off again.
Yeah, we've got some big things planned, so keep your eyes on the channel and keep tuning in, and then you will find out potentially before everybody else.
Yes.
Should we track back up a little bit?
Yes, I think we should.
We've got some people getting very close to some milestones here.
But yes, Luke, sorry. Yes, please do email with the info about StreamYard. That would be extremely helpful.
Yes, and if you email, then I'm more likely to pick it up and remember that it's there. I will be there on Friday this week. It's Fuel Power Friday. I like that. It has a good ring to it.
Okay.
Closing into 2,000, just under 150 to go. If you aren't subscribed to Luke at Mend It Man, head on over, subscribe. Let's get him to 2,000 as soon as possible.
And Ian, let's get him to 300. I think he said he was
300 by Christmas. Yes, go.
And Simone as well, at least almost at 1,300. So there we go.
There
Lots
we
of
go.
people
Some
about
big
to
milestones.
hit milestones.
And also, for anybody around, if you haven't already started writing down the dates when you do it, write down the dates when you hit these little milestones. We've got just a Word document with a table, and I think it's actually really interesting to see how quickly stuff happens, and maybe you can pinpoint videos and that kind of thing of like when you get a big amount of subscribers, because you do kind of forget these things. And I mean, actually we've been quite lucky that when we hit 1,000 we were at Retro Rise, so it was an event, it was something that was easy to remember, and we were at Goodwood, like what an epic place to hit 1,000. And then 2,000 we were at the Isle of Wight Adventure, so another epic place to
ironically
do
it just so happens to have been on a weekend when we were at somewhere. Otherwise it would have been middle of the week. It would have been
but I think that's pretty cool that we happen to have had those milestones, but that won't necessarily happen for 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever.
No.
So
there's no guarantee, is there, with YouTube?
No.
It's such a
so definitely make note of them if you haven't already, especially say for like those of you who are hitting like 2,000 or 1,300. It's obviously going to be hard to get the ones in the middle, but Ian, you're getting there nice and strong, 300, but like start writing it down, because it is nice to look at that as well.
That's the thing, should we say, as well, geographically some places actually do better than others.
Of course they do.
America, I know there's a lot of people out there in America, especially American content creators, obviously big place, probably a lot more over there that make content than there would be in the UK, just by sheer volume of people. Just for the sake of argument, there's somebody that I still watch, a channel called Spicy 110. He does moto vlogs. Although I can't ride a bike, I'm still quite interested in them. Obviously, motorbike. Can ride a bicycle. He had I think not a feud, but a bit of a competition with an American YouTuber, and the challenge was to see who could hit 1,000 subscribers quicker between the two of them, because they started at roughly the same time. And I think the American one, I think he's called Jake the Garden Snake, so another Jake out there.
Don't need any more. The world doesn't need any more.
I think he hit 1,000 subscribers like 3, 4, 5, 6 months or something before Spicy did, just because he was in America and he had that much of a bigger outreach, I suppose.
And also YouTube is a lot bigger in America generally, and they take their content creators and push them a lot further and a lot quicker. Whereas here, you have to have a pretty substantial following before you're given any sort of support and boost, and kind of, because I know from watching YouTubers that are quite what's the word, like
fashion?
No, like they're quite sort of open with their content in terms of chatting about the help that they get, the agents that they have, the guides that they have to put for what's trending and all this sort of stuff. And they have, I can't think what it's called, a coach, that kind of thing. That's the word probably best to describe it. It's more along the lines of, if you are, like you say, the kind of girly things of fashion, beauty.
I wasn't saying that, I was saying fashionable.
No, but it's,
yes, look at me, fashion icon.
It's that kind of thing of like the fashion and beauty industry, the things that do really well, the money makers in the industries are the ones that get the support and the ones that get the help. Because we were kind of having this discussion a couple of months ago, or a month or so ago, that a lot of vloggers and general daily vloggers and beauty and fashion YouTubers had been in, or lifestyle, that's what they're called, that's kind of their like umbrella name, were invited to the New Forest and specifically Bewley for a free press trip, and were obviously given free tickets, and they could go around and they could have a look at everything. They were allowed in Palace House for nothing and all of this sort of stuff. Yet there's people out there, us obviously being quite local, but even people on the chat here and everybody else in the automotive industry that would love a free trip to Bewley, but because it's kind of not the money making side of the industry, they're not invited to that kind of thing. And I think that's kind of where we don't do it as well in terms of British YouTubers, like American YouTube, is there's not that kind of balance of supporting everything. I think the beauty and the fashion YouTubers do get a lot of more of a push because it's influencing like teenage girls to buy stuff, and it's money making. That's the end. That is it at the end of the day. But generally, I think there needs to be a bit more of a level playing field for car sort of stuff, because people don't even know it exists. That's the thing with it.
As you were saying to me not long ago, you didn't know it existed until
I didn't know it existed.
Sort of introduced you to the world of car YouTube.
Obviously, you see like the odd supercar thing that pops up because in recommended videos because they've got a billion views or something stupid. But I do think generally as automotive YouTubers have to push and work a lot harder for a lot longer than they would if they were just a daily vlogger.
Whilst we're doing that, I'm going to go back up.
Soapbox, shall I? I'm sorry. But it's something that I've looked into. I've wanted to do YouTube as a thing for a very long time, and I kind of now look back on my previous 10 years and regret not doing it, because I would be on like, millions of subscribers potentially with what I was doing. So it's quite funny.
Is that the the not rant?
The not ranted.
But no, in fairness, there is actually a little bit of disparity, I guess, with that. As you say, a lot of channels get pushed because of, well, it's money at the end of the day. But it's the same with any business, isn't it, really?
Yeah, but it's the content that you create that attracts the views, that attracts the thing. But somebody mentioned Hubnut and Ian and everything in there. That was Luke. Yeah, he's nearly at 100,000, which is fantastic. But how long has he been doing this?
About 10 years, I think. Plus 10, 11 years, I think.
There's YouTubers that I've watched that are on 10 million, and they've only been doing it for
2 years max.
Well, no, they've been doing it, say, the same time, 10 years. Say 10, 12 years, but they're like 10 million subscribers is completely different to knocking on the doors of 100,000. And that shows, and the work that they put in is nowhere near as much work for us, or work by themselves for as long as somebody like Ian has done. And again, for the same thing of Ian has a lot of merch and a lot of stuff which helps support his family and his business, and like helps to sort of support the income that he gets from YouTube. And obviously he's very lucky to be in the position that he is in. But those with, even to be honest, 250,000 subscribers as a fashion, beauty, lifestyle YouTuber will get free press trips. They will get free products. They'll get sent stuff for free. They'll get sponsored videos left, right and centre. And I mean, it might be something that Ian is offered, but he turns it down. We don't know. But they seem to have the lifestyle.
We did meet him at the Fuel Power party for, I think, second or third time we've actually seen him in person. Obviously, you don't want to discuss stuff like that.
No,
it's meant to be an enjoyable day, isn't it?
But it's also it's a semi-private thing. But it's that kind of thing of there's that clarity of the lifestyle YouTubers earn their money from YouTube, and the
It's
way they
their
get
livelihood,
that,
it's
yeah,
their
the way
job
they
as
get
well.
that is the sponsored videos and the gifted content, whereas that's not something that's
No.
given to all of the YouTubers. Obviously, there is some sponsored stuff. I know, is it Lancaster's quite good at
Lancaster, Haggerty, Adrian Flux.
a lot of insurance companies, but again, there's so many things that are car related.
I mean, I know Diamond Bright, which is what do they do? They do like cleaning products and things for cars. They sponsor Furious Driving.
Yeah, but
So,
that's fantastic. There's people that have that, but it's not with that lifestyle YouTuber thing. If you were sitting at sort of 4,000 or 5,000 subscribers as a lifestyle YouTuber, you would have sponsored videos, you would have products being sent to you, you'd have all sorts of stuff. I've seen it like firsthand from people that I've watched for years and years. They've kind of hit 5,000 subscribers and all of a sudden they've started getting sponsored videos and all this sort of stuff. Whereas we know that kind of, I suppose Joseph's picked it up relatively recently with the
phone mount. Yes.
But that's one video or one sponsorship.
No, because I know there's quite a few other, don't get us wrong, there is a lot of other car YouTubers that do get sponsorship deals.
Oh yeah, of course, I think it's just getting that balance. It's getting the sort of...
Yeah. And obviously there's nothing against the people who do the lifestyle vlogs.
No,
personally, I don't watch them. It's not my thing.
I do. I like them.
Yeah.
It's not a bad thing. I'm not saying that it's a bad thing. I just think it's that getting that balance right, which we don't do as well here as they do in America.
No. That was 4 solid minutes of you talking about that.
I'm fine. I like doing that.
No, I
get my opinions out. Rachel would be proud.
That's her friend, by the way, for those who don't know.
I love the idea of a pod. Right, let's go back to here because you've all been chatting away while I've been chatting away and ranting at you. Sorry.
Simone's glad she found the channel. Sorry. Also, yeah, it is a really good community, isn't it?
Yes, completely. I like the automotive YouTube community a lot.
I found that I'd say from the YouTube side of things, everyone tries to help each other, which I think's quite rare, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, we're doing these live streams. Anybody who comes on that I know has a channel, I always try and say, please do go and follow them
it's a massive community. The thing is, it's a massive community. There's not that rivalry.
No.
It's everybody's here to do the same thing. We'll all support each other.
Yes.
But that's better than anything else. Like, you don't have that competitive nature.
No.
In terms of it. And I just kind of wish that I knew more about cars and that kind of thing to do it. But I will learn, but I don't have the interest like you do. So I like going to the events and that sort of stuff, but I'm a lot more of the business head for this venture. And you are the presenter because you're the one with the knowledge. Whereas if I was going to do a YouTube thing, I would fall into that lifestyle category because I don't have...
No, whereas you'd be quite good at going, hi everyone, I've just woken up and gone out to the shop. Yeah,
nobody wants to see me when I'm just woken up. Jeez.
Oh dear.
Right, back on this again before we go on another rant. Hello, where's Ian gone? I found that my new series of views drives
and I'm glad to
has
see
helped
that.
boost my channel. Yeah, I haven't watched any, sorry. But again, it's not something that I sit and watch. I know that if Jake watches a video or Dad watches a video that he either of them enjoys, then I will sit down and watch it. And I know that as well, like when Dad and I have been working at home and we've had lunchtime or we've been home a bit earlier, we'll tend to put YouTube on. He watches quite a lot of the YouTubers that I watch as well with me because, again, I've been watching them for like 10 years and a couple of them have got children that we've seen literally grow up.
Basically with those channels, you become invested in their life.
Yeah, of course. You become kind of like... And one of them I have quite often conversations with on Instagram. We've never met, but it's that kind of... I have watched her videos for such a long time that you do kind of get to know them. But again, Dad gets to know them and goes, oh, well, have you seen so-and-so's video on this? And then we proceed to watch that. So I do pick up stuff and I do learn things, but I don't automatically reach for automotive YouTube, and it's not anything personal, sorry. Up-and-coming car channels. Yes, definitely. That wasn't planned to say yes at the same time then. I remember when I hit 500, I was sat in TC having a cake break from welding. Oh,
cake break?
Sounds like we were having lunch when we got 1,000, weren't we?
I was having chips.
We were both having chips because that was the gluten-free ones.
Oh, yeah, the gluten-free ones.
The gluten-free ones.
Oh,
When I
can't remember the stand now.
No, I don't know. Somewhere that goes to Goodwood quite frequently, I'm sure. But that was when I was ridiculed for having mayonnaise with my chips until everybody learned it was garlic mayonnaise, and then I was fine.
It's like, oh, hang on a minute.
We only have less than 2, or I'm not sure what less than 2 what.
That might be 2 million people.
USA does so much better than us. Canada seems to do very well. Yes, again, it's just population. There's more people to watch it. 2 million people in this country, much less potential. There we go. Yes.
But Hubnut, yeah, he does show that 100,000 is achievable. And also JM on Cars, he's another YouTube channel that does automotive content. He's, I think, about 250,000, I want to say.
Yeah. But it does happen. But again,
I'll check it out.
It's that thing of you've got to hit the niche. And I mean, the ones that I was talking about with 10 million, that was a long time ago, and they did a great deal of stuff, and they do loads of things now. But
227,000 he's on, sorry.
There you go. Not bad.
Still good.
One day. Keep subscribing, guys. Keep telling everybody. We promise to still share your channels, don't worry. When we're millionaires. No, we're joking. But I think we'd like to kind of keep hitting the thousands. Obviously, that's great. But at the end of the day, we don't just like YouTube for what it is. YouTube is primarily the sharing platform. We like the filming and the editing and the design and
without trying to sound cringy, we do like the
community massively. That's the whole point of wanting to do stuff like this. But the everything that YouTube allows perfectly sums up what we enjoy doing the most. So Jake likes doing all of the filming and the editing and the graphic design sort of stuff. It's exactly what you want to spend your life doing.
But not only that, it's also allowed me to have quite a lot of I guess experiences I otherwise would not have been able to have. Me, like I would never have been able to have a look at the Vauxhall Chevette, know, and yet I've now got a video up on one.
Yeah, and for somebody who loves cars
the HSR,
as much as you do, that's fantastic.
Same with the mini scene, wouldn't have been able to do half the things you know that I've done this year for, say, West Country Minis with the Isle of Wight adventure.
Yeah.
I mean, when I first attended it in 2019 with Millie, the first year I ever had a mini, you know, if I'd have said to me back then, oh yeah, in this many years you'll be doing some videoing for the actual event, I'd have gone, no, don't be stupid. But
and now
it does open doors.
Yeah, of course it does. And it's building that community, and it is that the more you know, or not what you know, it's who you know. And by having that community literally across, well, here we've got the whole country, and abroad, and across the pond, across the little pond, across the puddle, is fantastic. And we wouldn't have had those opportunities had we not met virtually or in person. You guys, that's fantastic. And then in the same token, YouTube for me has managed. I can now manage a diary. I can do social media. I can plan and organize events, which is what I went to college to do because I loved it so much. And it's been able to be there for us as a thing to do what we love doing. And I do think when I say the weekend, the Isle of Wight weekend, last weekend, perfectly summed up exactly what we want to do as a job. Term. Yeah, and I think without that... I did not
see this video going this way this evening.
Very deep because it's getting late and I need to go to bed. But it is good, and I like that we can have these conversations with people, but it's nice. Let's keep going up. We're going the wrong way, but that's fine.
Carlos says they do have the weather and the massive country to play with in the US, which is true. They've obviously got that large geographical playground, essentially.
But maybe we need to show them how good Europe can be.
Europe. Europey.
Being a couple on a YouTube channel helps a lot. Yeah, we're just like Hubnut wannabes.
Yeah, that's what it is.
No.
I'll be the one who buys random things and stores them in a shed, and then you can go on about the caravan.
That sounds horribly familiar, Jake.
No, we do love Ian and Carly. They're brilliant people.
Yeah.
Lovely people as well.
Not here tonight, though, are they?
No, they're not. But maybe they're out busy. Who knows? I don't like to judge.
I have friends only at 20k. He's been going for 12 years and he has hundreds of films. He works hard at his content.
Well, again,
Who's that? Who's your friend? Unless it's somebody that we've already mentioned.
Furious Driving does get sponsors, yes, with Diamond Bright.
Yeah, but that's good. It's good that is happening as well. Like, it's nice. You're not wrong. I'm over 300 videos and not 2,000. Yeah, it's very hard work. It is hard work, and I think if you can put all your time and energy and effort into it, and you're in the position that you can work it all the time and put a video out every day, then you will get subscribers and you'll get the views quicker.
But I know for a
that's
fact
not possible for 99% of people.
I can't do a video every single day. I just don't have the time.
No, and also it does depend on how much editing and sort of behind the scenes time you put into it as well. And that's, again, because you enjoy it so much.
I try to put the time in.
Yeah, and that's
doesn't always happen.
It's fine, but I think that's fantastic.
Meanwhile, Carlos has subscribed to Ian's channel, so there we go. This
there you
community
go.
helping
One
out each
step
other.
closer to 300.
Salvage Rebuilds have done very well. I don't think I've actually seen that channel. I need to check them out.
What does he mean? Just generally, like, just rebuilds of salvage things?
Oh, I don't know. I think it's a channel. Please remind me if I've got this wrong, but I think Salvage Rebuilds are a channel that have done quite well subscriber-wise.
Yeah. Can't do graphic design. I really struggle with that one. This one's your man. We're happy to do those sort of things. We can have a chat.
There we go then. Advertising.
Jake Bill, graphic designer extraordinaire.
Well, maybe. You actually got me looking for classic minis, but I have so many vehicles already.
You're not the only one.
Why?
Somebody else has been looking at classic minis.
Have they? Can't think who. It's not me. I've already got one.
No.
No, if you do get one though, please do come along to the Isle of Wight adventure. See, I'm plugging it all ready for next year.
Yeah, I don't even think Matt's here anymore.
He might be
carrying on to bed, but
might have done. He's not feeling very well. There's a channel last time I looked over 200,000. There we go.
The thing is, they're out there, but again, it's finding them, isn't it? Even though they've got that many subscribers, it's funny that they don't get recommended or whatever.
I don't think I've ever seen them recommended, but I have heard of them through various other people.
We still have got a lot of interesting stuff over here in the UK, but I think with our vehicles different in the US stuff and more monitors. Yeah, everything's too small over here. That's the thing. It's
Well, the thing is, in America, they have a lot of love for vehicles like big old pickup trucks, V8s, which of course we don't get a lot of here.
Yeah.
We get a
and
few
they like
pickups.
their road trips as well, don't they? Which is fine when you
Cross state.
but it's like their road trips can last for like 7 days, and like if you did 7 days here, you'd fall off the edge of the island.
Well, let's put it this way: you can go from Land's End to John O'Groats in quite comfortably just over 24 hours, 25 hours, something like that, 26. I've never done it. Maybe that's something we should do.
Maybe it is. That'd be quite interesting.
Ooh, God, in mini.
we could, but you could do it. That you could do Land's End to John O'Groats, going the longest route possible.
That would last a while. Certainly would.
See, one state, California is the size of the UK. One state is the same size as our whole.
Also, the friend Cortina
Landmass.
City Pete C. That's the friend with 20,000 subscribers.
Oh, okay. I've never heard of it. I don't mind a Cortina. They're okay.
Your dad likes Cortinas.
Yeah.
I was chatting with him about them earlier on.
Used to have one.
We still have a lot of interesting stuff over here in the
Well, I've read
UK.
that one.
Oh, sorry. Yes, you did. Sorry, I'm losing
Sack
track.
the reader.
Rude. 257,000 subscribers. I'm guessing that's salvage rebuilds. That's a lot of people.
Those. But see, I found the 50 that was stood in front of us at the party when we had to say thank you quite overwhelming. Imagine all of them coming to you'd have to have Wembley.
More than that.
The whole of the NEC just to see you. Like, whoa. 44 Teeth Big Bike channel has 279. See, they are around, but I think what have we mentioned? 5? Whereas I could, okay, you guys couldn't, but I could rattle off 20 YouTubers of the lifestyle thing that have 250,000+. So road trip around the UK coastline, that would be cool.
I was going to say, though, just back on to 44 Teeth, although they're a very, very good channel, knees out of shot, They're a very good channel with the bike content
needs
they
to
do,
stop.
and it is very, very entertaining stuff. If you've never seen their channel, again, do go and check them out as well. Although they don't need any more subscribers.
Is that the one that you showed me with when they were on the boat?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I've lost track of what I was going to say.
Oh, sorry. They're very
yes,
entertaining.
very, very entertaining people. But they are more, I guess, journalistic. But
Yeah.
the team behind the, as a majority, do come from the world of at least bike magazines and other things. So they obviously know what they're doing. They're going to be a lot more confident. They'll probably got degrees and things in journalism. To put it this way, they know a lot more than anybody, probably like myself, would know regarding things like that.
Yeah, I think it does depend.
Which is not to say they haven't obviously worked hard to get up to where they are. But of course, if they have somebody who's well known in the scene, they will. Well, there we go. They're racers turned journos.
Yeah.
So they'll have obviously got the following to begin with, and then that will have carried over to 44 Teeth, and of course, the different communities mix and gets the word out. You get the picture. It adds up very, very quickly, which is obviously the way they've done it, and that's brilliant. It
was like Johnny Smith must be knocking on the doors of quite big numbers now, honestly.
Yes, the Late Break Show, that does very well. Of course, he made his name through Fifth Gear and various magazine work as well.
And again, that's the kind of thing is when you do look at people's history of actually where they've come from, is tends to lead them towards why they've got so many subscribers.
I'll leave the descriptions of 44 Teeth to Carl. He knows way more about them than I do.
It's worth going to have a look if you.
But if you do like bikes and things, do go and check them out. 418,000 for the Late Break Show. Well, there we go then. But in fairness to Johnny, he does do very, very good content.
He does do very good content. He's a really nice guy because we've met him. But again, he knows people in the know as well, doesn't he? That will share it to millions of people potentially on social media. We just need to.
It's not to say he hasn't obviously worked hard for it.
No, not at all. But
he's just not.
But again, it is about sharing. We know that firsthand that with thanks to Ian and Carly and the support is why we gained the subscribers as quickly as we did. We know that we're not shy of saying that. But it doesn't mean that we have lacked on content, stopped doing what we're doing, or worked less hard than we did before.
Well, the thing is with
I'd say you do like 90% of it.
Well, the thing with Johnny, as Simone's just said, he does have expensive cameras and things, which obviously is something he's able to afford.
And he's got the team.
And he's now got a team behind him as well. I mean, obviously, I'll say he's made his name through Fifth Gear, and a lot of people follow him, which, of course, there's no problem with that.
No.
In fact, he is, I guess, what we'd call a more traditional journalist.
Yeah.
But he brings people over with him.
But he's a traditional journalist on a modern platform, and I think that's the thing that people are ticking over to. Like, the people who would watch Top Gear when it was Clarkson and Hammond and May aren't so bothered about the new one.
No, although they did do Drive Tribe for a while, but that ultimately, I think, either ended up failing or they just gave up on it because it was too expensive for them to run.
But the people who watch that, I mean, would come now maybe to YouTube to find the old Top Gear, stumble across the YouTubers, and that's where they stay. And I think that's what needs to happen.
I mean, I follow Drive Tribe because on YouTube, that is, because I followed them on Top Gear in their days and the Grand Tour as well, But yes, let's go back. We keep saying this. Do a road trip around the UK. You've said you've already covered that one.
I think we should do that
Why not do a big channel collab between many of these channels? Why not do that?
We'll start somewhere and just all go meet up like a relay.
There's an idea.
The great YouTube relay.
That'd be brilliant. I really do want to do more collab content next year.
Yeah.
Because this year, if anything has been proven, that when, I guess, larger channels either shout out or give notice to smaller channels, lots of people do tend to flock in. Obviously, I know we're still 2000. It's not massive in world of YouTube.
No, but there'll be people who have less that.
But I want to help share out the message of other people as well. That's something I want to do more in 2023.
So if you would be interested in doing any sort of collaboration, just to make it easier, send us an email, just subject, I would like to do a collaboration, and just put your channel in there if it's not related to your email address. And we'll maybe make a note of it somewhere and we can get planning
Yeah.
We'll start with the live thing, and then we'll go from there with stuff. Right, let's see.
Do you like Volkswagens? They're all right. That's a good start.
I'm not impartial.
There's nothing wrong with Volkswagen cars. I'm a big fan of the older ones, the Beetles, the T2s, the what are they called?
Well, I've got a
I'm
Lego
such a big
one.
fan, I don't know.
What's this?
That's true.
T1.
That's T2.
T2.
T1 was the original.
That's what
Beetle.
I always wanted. I always wanted a T2.
We actually have a T4, which is going to feature on the channel.
We don't. It's going to feature on the channel, but we don't own it.
Extended member.
Yes, Daisy.
How's about that? So we do like Volkswagens on the channel.
We'll have to have a look.
Personally, I prefer the older ones, like 80s, 70s. That's more my stuff.
They're asking if you actually like them. It's a channel. You're giving them a very long answer. You're doing a me.
Sorry.
Oh. Racist and journalist, no training.
Covered that. Watch the grand
YouTube channel race. Sorry, YouTube channel race. I don't follow your.
Well, there are channels
thing.
out there
Go
like
again.
what are they called? Car Throttle. They do a lot of races around the country with trains versus cars and even abroad. They're quite good if you don't see them as well. Obviously, worthwhile checking out. They're quite entertaining, I guess. That's the best way of describing them.
Yeah.
I was going to say modern, but they are modern in, I guess, the platform. Obviously, Alex Kirsten, he's been quite well known in the car scene for a while now, to say the least. He's now gone off to do his own thing as well as Car Throttle. But, I'm sorry, do a multi-channel race, Carlos meant.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, perfectly good content from them as well. It's all entertaining stuff. Really like it. Plus, they give shout outs to garages and various workshops that they often get work done by.
Yeah, it's all about helping the community, I think, at the end of the day. Johnny's a decent lad and replies to many comments regardless of what you drive. No strawberry, and that's what counts. Exactly, that is pretty much sums up.
It's a good summary of him.
To be honest.
Like when we turned up to the late break show in Somerset, meet that he did down there at Christmas last year, roughly. We went in the Panda 100 HP. You probably have seen it featuring his video if you watch his channel.
Right at the end.
He absolutely loved it. He's like, Panda 100 HP, great little cars. These, ends up having a brief chat with him because he was a very busy man that day.
Yeah, and the same goes with the people who were there as his team. I was taking. Well, it wasn't. They weren't filming or anything, but they were there to support him. Yeah. I was doing some pictures and photos of. I've got a proper DSLR camera out, lenses, all that jazz. Taking photos of some of the cars, and Jason Plato stopped people walking past so that they didn't get in my photo, which was very nice. But again, he didn't have to do that. But they have got very humble, down-to-earth, kind, nice people surrounding them. And I think that, again, as we've already said, is the crux of most of this YouTube blog. Yes. I'll see you later, Luke.
Yes.
Let's say goodbye to Luke. Yes. We should probably go as well because we're getting hoarse and it's getting late. So
yeah, we've been going for 2 hours and 15 minutes almost.
It's the longest one so far.
We're doing pretty well. But we'll just have a quick look. Carlos loves Volkswagens. Nobody needs to ask that really. It's pretty obvious he does with his love of his Golf. VW Coco does classic cars. Okay, that's another channel I shall have to check out and have a look at. Luke's doing work on a VW T4 at the minute, so there we go. It's something maybe you can speak about.
Yeah,
I guess in a way. Obviously, we're not necessarily doing the work on the T4. It's not our personal project.
We'll get some T4 stuff shared at some point.
Yes.
Right, should we knock it on the head then? Everybody's going to bed. Perfect.
Okay.
Thank you.
I was going to say, any final questions just to ask, and we'll wrap this up at 2 hours, 20 minutes, yeah?
Yes. If not,
we'll
get a box on Instagram, head over there, and we'll pop some. Or send us an email. If you want us to talk about something next time, send us an email, and we will. VW fans, you're very welcome. We'll get the sticker to you as well.
Has a Seat, which is a Volkswagen Group car.
Okay.
Just to say. Yeah, great stream tonight. Okay, well, it seems like everyone's sort of heading off then.
Everyone's heading off, but they're still here. It's like they're ghosting us.
Oh, dear. But no, if you've got any final questions, guys, please do ask it now, and we'll try and answer as best as possible without going too into detail. Send me your address too.
We will do. We will.
We'll do for the sticker swap, I guess.
Yes, we'll stick us.
Perfect. But yes, right. Carlos is off.
Go on then, if you're going, everyone. You're all saying you're going, and still here.
God, you're not a very good host, are you? Checking them all out.
I'm in bed by 9.
Usually. Anyway, been lovely having you here, Carlos. And yes, we shall have to see about doing this live stream at J&M Motorcycles, electric bikes even, sorry. Oh, I'm getting tired. But yes, that's my excuse. We'll have to look at doing that.
Right,
yes,
one's gone.
Thanks for joining
5.
Simone as well. Been lovely having you here, and we'll see you in the next one, hopefully.
Yes. I think 8 o'clock works for people.
8 o'clock seems to work.
Even if we do waffle on for 2 hours and 15 minutes.
I think in future we'll round it up after 2 hours, if not before.
Unless it's a good conversation. That's a job.
Yeah. Good night, folks. But yeah, it'd be great to get this collab going, etc. Chat later. Yes, we shall get in contact about collabs in the future.
Yes, we
How's about that?
will.
And just for reference, I will be having a go at filming the walk around a Millie at Beauty tomorrow for you. So hopefully that can feature on your viewers' drives at some point in the not too distant future.
Golly. Right, 3.
3 people left. I don't think anybody's going to ask us any questions anymore.
No,
I think
I think
everybody's
everybody's gone to
questioned
bed.
out and tired.
Right, let's leave it at that then.
But yes,
2 hours, 15 minutes, and 39 seconds. Let's say goodnight.
No problem, Ian. See you in the next one and chat between them. Anyway, thanks everyone for watching and joining in the live show. It's been great having as many of you joining as we have this.
Hurry up, the battery's running out.
Oh no, as we have this month. And yes, if you're interested in following these in the future, then we'll usually do them towards the end of each month. Dates, times, everything will be announced on our social medias. Please check those out. That was meant to be dramatic. Check them out before the next stream. But yes, thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Until then, farewell.
Night.